Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what's going on?
We ain't even give a chance to give the people a warning that it was going to read. That's what I'm saying. Uda be taking like he got a whole live stream running, and he's probably in the bed or in that chair, sleep.
Probably because we was up all night. He showed up for the stream this morning. I say, yeah, what Kim done fell out.
Yeah,
I know. I
I
woke
only
up at
had like an hour and a half of sleep.
9:30. I was like,
Oh,
boy,
look, here he go talking about you wasn't on mute, boy. You was asleep.
you was over there
Stop
catching.
it.
You was catching that 15-minute nap. Oh, the ladies got it. The ladies got it.
I'm
Why
out
you
here.
off my laptop?
Yeah, she definitely does look young. Now hold on. I gotta refresh this YouTube since oh man. Is this the one? I'm so lost right now so I can see the okay, I see it. He probably done went to sleep, took a shower, had breakfast. I'm crying.
Woke up in the stream on accident. Oh crap!
I gotta come. I told my brother I gotta come up there before it gets too cold. I might have to pull up on Uda in real life and ask him why he like to fall asleep on these streams.
Right. You can't be falling asleep on the YouTube streets, son. At least you put
I ain't
yourself
got
on
no
mute first.
keys. I ain't got no keys to drive. Like I'm just sitting in the car. It's just running. Oh gosh, yeah, but I don't know. I would love for Inky to come over here and talk about this. Somebody, I don't know who's all in the chat right now, but if somebody
Somebody go get Inky. What's his number? Hold on. Inky got a phone number. Like we don't know. Inky got a phone number.
yeah,
He
he
was like,
gave it
just
out on one of
text
his
me.
damn lives, crazy
Yeah, he
self.
was like, just text me.
Cause I'm
Inky phone
like,
probably be blowing up.
yeah. Yeah, I would love to hear what he has to say about all of this right now. Um, but yeah, Taharka a hot mess. He got the he gotta get it together, boy. Like he does. I can't.
Lord. Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna be. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for dinner early, so that way I'm not like. Because the last 2 weeks I really haven't had sleep. Like just dealing with all this.
I don't think
Like
nobody been sleeping too much. We've been running on fumes since August the 18th.
I mean, I think I went to sleep for an hour and a half this morning. Um,
I have to get 8 hours. I have to get 8 hours. I
you
can
know,
do it, but nah. And I ain't finna.
I like
I'm gonna do a
money.
junket, but
I
we ain't
like
doing a
money.
Jerry Lewis marathon around this joint. My voice need rest if nothing else, because it,
Yeah.
it strains it. Hollering guard and George Eugene.
Eugene.
I'm gonna take my
Oh
shoulder
my
over
god, like, when he
the
said
bed.
his full name and it's so funny because it's like everybody's been saying Noack, and I'm like, "Noak?" Like and then he
It's
finally said no.
Noak, right?
Right, yeah,
Why do they
but
keep saying Novak? Novak. See, that's what I be talking about. One person put it in the chat, and then all of a sudden
I've seen
everybody done
that,
ran with
yeah.
it. He a Nigerian scammer. He done scammed the cops and everybody else into thinking that he is Michael E. Nowak. No, 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 no. He is Michael E. Nowak. They didn't run his license. They ran his
Well,
social, baby.
Taharka said he don't think that's his real name.
They,
He
they,
feel
they,
like
girl, they run that same line every time Polight get in trouble. Oh, he ain't from over here. He a Nigerian scammer.
mm,
Oh, he's 50 something years old. That's why they got them thinking Polight a 50 something year old Nigerian. No, Polight was raised in New York City and he is a homegrown scammer.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
he
Point
from
blank. Period.
Brownsville.
Everybody wants to give these folk more credit than they really deserve. Filthy Frank, West Side Dusthead. No, we don't trust Inky, but we need Inky right now to sing our favorite song.
Yes.
Can't nobody sing it quite like Inky. I'm gonna
Nah.
turn this on you, Gary. You trust Tahawka Bay? He telling you that live is from yesterday. Honey, that was this morning. See, if Tahawka Bay was any kind of righteous, he would say, hey, I got the link. Triple C TV put the link out for everybody. He would have did that yesterday when I put the link out instead of waiting 5 hours after the court hearing actually ended to go on live talking about he got an exclusive. The
He
content
might have
creator
had to fix somebody's
already heard the
house.
audio. Say what?
He had to fix somebody's house. The man gotta make his
Oh,
money.
oh yeah, I forgot. When he ain't on YouTube, he beta builder.
Yeah. Beta build.
Okay, that was it. That's stuck right there. I was calling him old bay, but beta builder sounds better.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Can he fix it?
No, he can't.
Oh.
Y'all hell.
Yes, I'm definitely going to help for
This is
this.
why they won't say my name. I be looking like Dave Chappelle when he was playing Rick James.
Oh,
Come on,
Jesus.
say my name. They ain't said my name in 5 years. The only ones that call my name is the halfway homeless. Look, I went and dropped off a whole treasure trove into Harker Bay Lab. Ain't nothing on that. You ain't even look at it.
Hold on, let me look up. Oh, you said to call him first, but let me see how much it costs to send flowers. Because I want to send actual flowers while people are alive and thank her for doing the God's work.
She is doing the work of the Lord.
Uh,
Let's see it worked this morning. We sat up here and we sent positivity to the judge and the prosecutor. Look at God. Ain't that right, Pup?
Eugene. I can't.
And that's
Oh,
proving
boy.
George wrong because George said it was God versus Miami-Dade. Well, it looks like God chose the side of Miami-Dade in this instance. Just a little bit.
Yeah, should I send flowers? I'm on flowers.com. Should I send like just
And to
flowers?
Hartha and Bay the Builder. Don't forget him. Bay the Builder is just like them. No,
Oh,
Inky might be like them, but one thing Inky does that they don't do is when you ask him a question, Inky will actually answer it instead of giving you an hour and a half tap dance masterclass. Okay, good. I'm just making sure. Just making sure. But see, the things that I ask Inky can be verified. That's where I'm coming from with it. Hey, and he can't scam me by singing a song.
that's a fact.
We just want Inky over here right now for the entertainment value of his perspective on Polight's hearing this morning. I asked Inky the two questions I needed to ask him. He answered. I said, thank you very much, and left it alone.
Yeah, I was trying to see if Inky was actually watching or not because I know his last name is like DeFresney or something like. I
Du,
just couldn't remember his
Duquois.
first. I
Dusque.
thought it was DeFresney.
Or it could be. That might be his middle name. Hold on. It's
I was
wrong. Yeah,
yeah.
that's his. No, his middle name is Der Bergerac, and his last name is Duquesne. Duquesne.
DeQuesney? Okay, I knew it
Yeah,
was something like that, but I didn't see
Duquesnay.
DeQuesney. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
And
that's
no, I'm
actually a
not
nice.
doxing Inky. His name is easily findable because
Yeah,
of the
I couldn't say.
FDA report in California with Stinky Inky in the case of the kidney water.
Yo, people will not let the kid, like, I don't even know what's up with the like, and I
You
feel
know
like
what? This is how the conscious community works. Stinky Inky in the case of the kidney water. Okay, Stinky, we call him. Inky was selling this water, right? So at the
mhm,
same time, somebody else was selling water, and some little girl got sick. But the
mhm,
water that Inky was selling, the people he was partnered up with, the FDA got involved, and you know the when people make health claims that aren't verifiable, like that type situation. But Ingy didn't go to jail or nothing. It was a cease and desist to stop selling the water. But they took that and said that Stinky Inky almost killed a child from the kidney water. That's why they started calling it kidney water, because
mhm.
something was wrong with the child kidneys. And whatever she took, because you know back then, Sinetta was, "Have you had your greens today?" and all that other mess they was pushing. They was pushing some anything from anybody. Sinetta
Mm.
stopped that mess after he got sick.
Have mercy. Let me see if I
But
can
ever since,
message.
I
Is
mean,
I Smoke going live right now too about this? Hold on.
this is the fraud. I'm the head of the fraud department since Kev Gills booted his own self. So I'm not the figurehead, but I'm the spokesperson. I'm not only the president, I'm a member also. But his file name is what? Stinky Inky in the case of the kidney water, Stinky Inky in the case of the missing laptop. You know, and then just Inky, just tell us what you know. I was chasing Inky around on the 19th of August. Just come clean. Just come clean. And
Yo,
he
they
still talked to me. He was like, he wasn't even paying me no attention at first. And then I went up to him. So
mm,
I was like, Inky, I just want to ask you two questions. Because I asked him, did he want to come on for an interview? And he was like, I don't think, because that's right before he started going over there to talk, Beta Builder. So, yeah. He is a naturopath, not a traditional doctor of Western medicine. See, he'd have been better off just calling himself a naturopath instead of trying to translate it and call himself Dr. Inky. And he sell herbs and stuff. As long as them folk get their herbs, I ain't worried about him. Not on that level. He goes out and he does public service works for the youth, as they say on YouTube.
the
The
youth.
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 I mean, I don't. Hey, look, does he have to prove he a doctor to ask a simple question that he can show me where to get the information from?
Well, I think it's important too to also make mention that Inky said that he is a naturopathic doctor, which is very
Mm-hmm.
distinguished from an MD. And a lot of folks want to kind of come at him and say, oh, well, if he's a doctor, then, he
They
should make
missing the
sure,
whole
yeah,
naturopath part.
yeah, like he's a ND, like N as in Nancy, D as in David.
Yeah.
Um, you know, so
Who has
for
he scammed though? He stood by while Polight scammed. I'll give him that. But who has he scammed? Who then came out and said Inky scammed me?
I mean, I've bought products from him. Um,
He over there listening to Tahaka Bay and the stream. That's why he keep asking that stuff.
well, I mean, Gary's been on this platform a couple of
Mm-hmm.
times, and the thing
Hey,
is,
look,
like,
Inky isn't a scammer per se. He operates in the gray section of, you wouldn't call a health food store a scammer. Inky's basically an online health food store, a herbal store, or whatever.
yeah,
And he
hmm
can point you in the right direction for, oh, this hurts. Oh, you need to take this herb. Oh, this hurt. That's why he does consultations. But you can't just say he is scammer because he was using the wrong terminology for what he is. I mean, is it his fault that y'all don't know what a naturopath is? And y'all just assumed he meant a traditional Western medical doctor? Who has he scammed? Who done came out and said Inky scammed me? And that's for people saying somebody bought him a house. If they did, it sure as hell ain't in his name.
I mean, all anybody has to do if they really want to know about like Polite and his real estate dealings is just look whatever states that he said that he's purchased properties is to go on their recorder of deeds or their deed search website and see if there's a Michael Noack listed in the
And there is
properties.
not.
I haven't. Well, no, that's not true. So in the case of the cargo miniums, um, when I wrote, excuse me, an article about that, um, um, I looked at the property and then I researched the property by parcel number, and it showed me that he was nowhere listed on the cargo minium site. Um, not even in that state's records,
Hmm.
period. So, um, but does he have a license? I mean, he says that he has a license. I
He
mean,
doesn't have a traditional Western medicine license, but he said he showed Tahaka Bay the paperwork on the back end, and Tahaka Bay didn't bring it up, and that sounds about right because that's what they tried to bust him out on when Sinetta called Tahaka Bay.
yeah, I mean, he says he
Look,
has
they
a.
trying to discredit Inky right now because he coming out. Yeah, and I can say I'm a teapot. It doesn't make it true, but he didn't show the credentials somewhere once or twice. I'm not trying to buy no herbs from Inky.
I mean, Inky
Did
has
Inky
videos
did
on
they
his
find six
channel.
points of Inky's semen on of underage child? That's it's a yes no question. If the
That's a
answer is
fact.
no, can we quit going in these circles about Inky and whether he's doing this or whether he's doing that? Because we won't know until somebody comes out and tells it. Until then, we don't know. It's naturopath stores that's been open for years. They're not technically scamming nobody. Look, you can use naturopath medicine in line with your doctor because any good naturopath is going to tell you to check with your doctor to make sure any medications that you're taking you're not going to have an adverse reaction with the herbs and medicines that they're giving you.
Yeah, I mean, they
And as long as he meeting all that criteria and Inky ain't sent nobody to the hospital, I don't care because it's not
yeah,
valid to this situation. Inky then
that's a
came
fact.
out 3-4 times before Polight got arrested and told the same story about how they met, how they interacted, and all of that. Nobody started up this Inky is a scammer campaign until he started busting everybody out in
Yep,
the HOK.
and that's a fact,
And
and he
this is the
said that.
HOK's playbook. We're gonna make the person that's telling, we're gonna smear them so won't nobody believe them. So until I get somebody coming to me saying that Inky scammed them, if I can find proof that Inky scammed them, you know what? Tahaka Bay and Sinetta's record is longer than Inky's.
And he got a
Inky
record.
doesn't have a record at
No, he
all
doesn't.
because all the FBA gave him was a cease and desist
Hmm.
because they were using the wrong terminology on the water, not because something was wrong with the water. You do. But we also let snitches come into court and tell on they compatriots, don't we?
Yep.
But we don't badger them. We don't badger the snitch when they come in court to snitch on their compatriots. We let them tell their story and they might get cross-examined and then people leave it alone. But y'all questioning Inky more, y'all questioning that mother, well, not you particularly, Gary, but that mother and daughter have been questioned more than Polight has. And
Yep.
Polight is the only one that has active charging charges and a pending case.
Yep. He has a burden of proof. He has a burden of proof, and he
See,
has
this
yet
is what
to.
they're doing. They got everybody running around in these circles so nobody will focus on Polight. Eugene, I ain't forgot about you, baby.
Yo, Taharka even got his suit on a thumbnail, though. I'm crying.
And see, that's what I'm saying.
Wait, what?
I know the Lord, He
So
heard
on
my
Taharka Bay's
cry.
video, he on his thumbnail he has Polite's the
That
suit.
shiny suit that
Yeah,
he borrowed Floyd best suit.
he
Mm-mm.
probably went out and bought it
He
yesterday.
borrowed one of the good suits. Mm. Yes, and I'm a homeowner too.
They don't look at your criminal record though. That's the difference. Like when you're buying a home, they look at your financials. Not unless you're on some sort of terrorist list. with the federal government, that's the only time that any record is ever involved. What they look at is if you can demonstrate the ability to repay the loan. So in the
And
case
what
of
does
Inky,
home ownership have to do with? What does that have to do
what
with
he's trying to
anything?
say is that
That wasn't him. That was another scammer. They just said it was him because he was telling on Polight at the time. Quit listening to Tahaka Bay because he's full of shit.
oh,
Yeah, Tahaka flipped on him
so
real
quick.
quick.
Tahaka sat
That
up
was
there and
crazy.
laughed and kikied with Inky for what? 2 weeks. Inky
Yep.
showed him his credentials and everything. But as soon as Sinetta rung that phone like like Pavlov's dog, he started slob. And the real Tahaka Bay stepped out.
That's
Ask,
the fact.
how about this? Where that donation money for that van Tahaka Bay took up that he didn't go? Since we want to
He said
question
he
people.
bought it.
Yeah, but he bought a vehicle that a
That
couple of
immediately
days
had to go
later.
into the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
And
said
then
he
had to
bought
spend another $1,000 on repairs.
But if you
So
ask Tahaka Bay about that, he gonna block you. I ain't seen Inky block nobody about asking him about that water. He's been very forthcoming. Ain't no charges ever been filed with about Inky. Black women are so easy for black men to fool, and black men are so easy for black men to fool. How about that?
well,
That's why
I
I was
did my
wondering
own research. I ain't taking nobody word for nothing. I ran Inky background check. He ain't got no charges. But Tahaka got charges that was dropped for beating his girl. Sinetta got charges for assault with a weapon. So if we gonna base it on scamming or whatever, you can't prove that. But let's stack them records up.
Yep,
Inky
and that
ain't
was
got
the point
nothing
that
on
he
the
was
table, and
making.
both of them got papers. Want me to keep going? He smoked coke out of keys. He got papers.
Yeah, he said it.
Hey,
Nigga,
bro,
I
Reggie
smoked
got
coke out of
papers.
keys.
I smoked
That
coke
came
out
out
of
of
keys,
mouth.
nigga. That was the funniest shit ever. I was like, did he really just sit up there and say that? Like,
And then
like
he
that's
tried, he even before that was him doubling down on it, right? But before that, he was like, but at the time, that's what everybody did. That was the era. We
Yeah.
smoked crack. I
yeah.
was like, just because other people didn't mean it was okay for you to do it.
Man,
Like,
he
don't.
said that shit like he was stunning on Inky. I smoked cocaine out of keys. Nigga, hold on. That is not a flex, sir. It's not a flex.
He said that shit like he was proud.
He was proud to say it.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Uda, wake your butt up.
So I got a question. What
Yes,
would
ma'am.
cause this to not go to trial?
If he plea out, if he just plead guilty,
So if he take a plea
or if
deal,
they
no
drop the
trial.
charges. I think
Because
those are the only 3 options, right, Angelica?
Yeah, because even at this point, because the state has the state is prosecuting him, so it's not like this is a civil case where the victims are the ones pursuing this case, right?
right.
So because it's the state versus Michael Nowick, like even if the young girl decides not to go into court to testify, they could take a written statement or like a phone recording or anything like that. So it's
Yeah.
beyond them.
I
It's
mean, they
beyond
got
them at this
DNA.
point.
Let me
They
put
gonna
it to
be
you
done.
like this, Gary. I don't go off of what I hear. I go off of what I see, and I go find that for my own self. That being said, every time that they done tried to push Inky into a corner before all this hit the fan, Inky has stood his ground and told the same story. Now, if you take any of those people like Tahaka Bay that's sitting over there banging on Inky, he duck and run.
Yep.
He duck and run. He can't answer a question straight. They shouldn't have debates over there. They should have tap dancing competitions because that's all they do. But Inky will give you an answer. It might be long because Inky a little bit long-winded when he get going, and he goofy. So
And
yeah,
he's petty and
yeah,
super
and he
petty.
petty. if you touch my charger cord.
So y'all remember when Inky needed some place to stay and they did this whole look like a goddamn ritual to accept him into the house of consciousness or whatever the fuck it was about.
Like
See, ever since then, that's why I don't understand why people want to make it out like Inky's some type of bad dude. Like Inky is a victim
they
of
didn't
hanging
even
around.
fool with Inky.
Right. And I'm like, he a victim of fucking around with bad dudes. And he got away from their ass, but then he needed some help and they was there to provide the help. But then they just got up there
and then
and
they
made
all
him
from
look
the
like a
same area.
jackass on YouTube. I was like, why the fuck are they doing this? This is supposed to be y'all homie. Why y'all putting him up here in the public, making him look like he's some kind of motherfucking vagabond that ain't got nothing going for himself? Like, why is y'all doing it? So ever since I forgot.
I forgot the other case. Inky in the case of the cheeseburger and fries.
Oh my god! I mean,
what you gonna say? He brought that up too. Tahaka Bay brought that up too, and it's like, oh my god, Inky ate a cheeseburger. You gonna put that up against Polight having
and DNA.
5 lewd and lascivious conduct.
It's silly, but that's the lens that they have to go.
Look at the stuff they pulling out on Inky. It's ridiculous for this situation. So you can tell if you've been sitting up here watching this is a cycle. This is not the first time this has happened. This is just bigger than most other times.
Right.
This is the same playbook they always run.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen this with our own eyes. If you've been watching, if you've been sitting up here in the balcony for 4-5 years, you know, you can see a lot from the balcony.
Yeah.
But for 4-5, this is the same playbook they always run. People talking about, oh, Polight gonna tell everything. He said he gonna do like Nino Brown. He said that same mess after the PayPal scam. Yep. He said that same mess when right after him and Victoria went to, what was it, Thailand? And they was talking, that's when Crypto Roots came out and said Polight stole all his money. You know, if I go down, everybody down. You know what? Inky doesn't like any kind of official position.
Yeah.
He don't have, I'm a black vet. He don't have to like me. And he lie, but they lie more. And when he telling the truth, he'll show you this, and this. You can he'll give you the information to verify his answer. So just so you know he ain't lying. But you have to stack it up. What kind of lies does Inky tell versus what kind of lies does that side tell? If you don't know what kind of lies that side tell, it's not fair to listen to them talk about Inky and say Inky's this and Inky's that. Because they pulling out the little petty stuff that Inky do to cover for the real bullcrap that they do.
Yeah.
You can't find one person roaming around YouTube that'll say Inky scammed them. You can't find one person that say Inky didn't send his product. But what you can find is people saying Inky stole a laptop. Oh, Inky ate a cheeseburger. Oh, Inky ate this. But Tahaka Bay used to beat on his girl. But back then, you know, if the female didn't want to press charges, the police just let it go. So he can say he doesn't have that on his jacket. But is it because he didn't do it? We don't know. But why is the focus on Inky? That's what I want to know.
He's telling on everybody.
Why is the focus on Inky? You have to think about it. Polight's the one that has 5 second-degree felonies on him right now. Oh, speaking of which, let me refresh this page and see if anything else can pop up. I just keep it open all day and just hit refresh. 21.
I don't know if Inky
21.
is so much.
You're going to have to help me with this one, Angelica.
What's up?
Current bond status, CT 1 through 4, 10K each. Okay, so that's the bond. Total bond $46,000. So they typing this stuff in real time right now.
Yeah, I'm going now.
See, this is how I find my information, Gary. I don't trust none of them. Tahaka Bay said he had information. He started that live at 10 o'clock at night. And it was like 2 o'clock in the morning before he actually gave the information. He's sitting up here playing his songs, trying to wait till the most people come into the chat before he give information. Everybody got the same feature on YouTube, rewind. When he started with Inky, he said he wasn't taking no videos down. Soon as Sinetta called him, what did he do? Snatched down every video with Sinetta in it.
Took the video down, flipped on Inky. That was crazy. He like flipped on that dude in real time. Like, y'all niggas ain't gonna see this.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Yes. Look, I done had Tahaka Bay stand me up for an interview. Then 2 days later, Sinetta show up, and who come flying in right behind him? Tahaka Bay. Bay the Builder. Yes.
Current bond status.
Everything you saying about Inky, though, you can say about Tahaka.
Why Inky ain't got no record. It ain't nobody said Inky
going to jail. Polight is.
Yeah,
Inky
that's just
Inky might have had suspicion, but Inky never had more than that until Sinetta came out and opened his mouth and told it when he got mad at Polight about that Eventbrite money. Remember when Polight first went to LA? They said Polight took the bag and ran. He took the money, including Sinetta cut.
Ooh, nigga.
That's when Sinetta came out and told about Renintet. And I think that's when Inky started putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Because Inky ain't messed with none of them hard for 4 or 5 years. He was never in jail.
Shoe Play Queen. You know what? Let me make a call. Give me a couple minutes. I'll call down there and find out if he posted his bail already. I'll be right back.
Oh shit. Okay. But y'all some hitters, ain't it?
You will play by look, this is a real time sexual predator amongst us.
Yeah, right.
I have a teenage daughter. I don't want people like this roaming around social media. Even though I have taught my daughter, the skills that she should be able to avoid this kind of crap. But everybody got over on sometimes. So I'd rather have as little as possible. Yeah, the whole bail is $46,000 for now. But the DA said that she's going to file some more charges, and that's why I keep refreshing.
What is pre-trial conditional? What the hell is
that? That's that second charge. Where you see that? Oh, pre-trial conditional.
Yeah, for the stay away order. Is that like?
Yeah, it has conditions attached to it. Like he can't contact her, he can't contact her mother, he can't get anybody else to do it. Hey, Information Man Show.
You know what I find crazy about that, but that to come up in court like that when he just got his ass on that damn live stream yesterday talking about people was fucking with his kids, which I do not condone. And these niggas on YouTube need to stop it. Y'all ain't no business screenshot people here and using them in thumbnails. I don't give a fuck if he was the worst pedophile in the world. That don't got nothing to do with his children. Y'all need to leave the kids alone. Y'all, something's wrong with y'all. Okay, let's go with that. But how he gonna get up there and talk about somebody doing this, that, and the third to his children? And he's sitting up there harassing the 14-year-old girl and already violated her. And even if she personally don't feel like she was violated because of whatever her little teenage mind had going on with grown ass man, the fact that this shit is now public, that's a violation. Why bother her? Just leave the fuck alone. I
bet that girl right now wish she had never said she was hungry. Because that's how all this went down. She told her mama she was hungry and he was there. And he jumped on that opportunity. Shoe Play Queen, you right. He is responsible. He knew. And then after he busted Polight out and Polight gave him his cut to shut him up, he brought Polight back onto his platform. That means that you knew this man was a sexual predator, allegedly, and you still brought him amongst the people that you call family.
I think these niggas up here talking in code to each other because Sinetta done said something about the police, but like got up there talking about the FBI and shit. I think they talking to each other, basically saying, "Hey, nigga, we gonna pretend like we talking to our audience. Up? I know what you got going on. I know what you got going on too.
Because that DA said that he had, that DA said he had other people intimidating that mother and child. If you listen to it close, that's what she said. He's using people on social media to intimidate her. They sitting up here trying to dig up this child. You know, that's why her mother shut down all her social media like that. That's why she privated everything. Because they
See,
trying to
I'm a
get to the
little,
child through the mother. That's why she's not responding to anybody.
I'm a little
That's why she
suspicious.
hasn't come out and said anything. And I
I'm a
think
little,
that's the best course
I'm a little
in a
suspicious
situation
about
like
that too. Cause on that other channel that she had, pictures was on there, and then it went private, and then when it came back, it was only like 6 pictures up there. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, why it take you so long to go ahead and do that? Which, I ain't saying that she wrong for that or nothing. It just looks strange. Like, this happened in February. And
Yeah.
only after it become public do you decide you need to scrub your account. Like, it's just weird. The whole shit is weird. Like, and I
Mm-hmm.
get, like, when Tasha K was reporting it or whatever, she made the narrative, oh, she was so innocent and she was never away from her mother or whatever. Okay, the devil is found in the details. What grown ass man gonna give you some alcohol and you gonna take it and drink it?
But she
Now,
said, I don't think the child knew alcohol was in there. He gave her something super fruity to cover the alcohol and the drugs he had slipped in there.
Okay.
He
So if
slipped
she
up
didn't know,
with me. Yeah, they see people getting the story mixed up. The mother was up there finna take a shower. Polight was
yeah,
up there. The child
yeah.
said she was hungry, and she was like, "Well, just wait for me." The Polight, no, I'll take her. They get downstairs. Polight tells her, "Oh, everybody already gone because all them folk was down there with the kid with other kids and stuff." So it wasn't like they Polight and this mama done ran off with this girl somewhere. So then he
No,
get down and say they ain't there. We gonna go over to the after party where they at. That's how the club comes into it. They get to the club. The club is closed. Instead of him turning around and going back to the hotel, he tells the girl, "Oh, we gonna go over here to my hotel, and I'm gonna call everybody and see where they at." Then he gives her that drink, and mind you, this child was hungry,
yeah.
so he gave her that, knowing she had an empty stomach, did what he did, and then when he pulled himself out, and when she fainted, he did what he did, got scared, and then tried to make her throw up. And the whole time the mother's calling. This was premeditated on his part. He
Of course it
called the
was.
mother and pretended like they were at the club at one point. And she was like, "Why the fuck would you take my 14-year-old to a club?"
Club, yeah.
So I just wanted to say real quick, not to cut anyone off. I
Mhm.
tried to call the clerk's office. They're closed. So I couldn't get through to see if bail had been paid.
You just keep refreshing the site. They still there. They still putting in stuff.
Yeah, I know. They just ain't answering the phone right now.
Yeah, because it's after
They said
business.
we out, nigga.
It could be shoe play queen, but she said that's what the report says, that she said that she fainted, and she could have if she was sitting up there on an empty stomach and just got hit with a whole bunch of alcohol and drugs.
Yeah, I
So
don't
it's
think like he hit her or nothing like that. Because if he did, why would they remove the battery charge?
they didn't
Because they
remove
could
it though.
they
It's just on pause.
yeah, they changed it because they can't confirm actual intercourse. That's why they changed the charges.
Well,
She
yeah, as far as the penetration go, but I mean, kind of child abuse charge. Because if he hit her, he should have some type of
I don't
abuse
think
charge.
they done. He has lewd and lascivious conduct, lewd and lascivious molestation with a minor between 12 and 16 times two. And then he has lewd and lascivious conduct with a minor under 16, under 16, but over 12. And then what's
Mhm.
that last? Hold on, I got a thing up here while I'm trying to strain my brain to remember.
Yeah, so it's two lewd and
Lewd and lascivious
lascivious
molestation of a
molestation.
child,
There's
Yeah,
lewd and
lewd
get
and
the receipt.
lascivious conduct,
conduct of a
and then
child
Speaking
under
lewd and
of civil
16.
suit.
lascivious exhibition. So that
Yeah.
means that he exposed
See, the
himself.
lewd and lascivious means that he can't wiggle out of it, trying to say that the girl seduced him or she lied about her age or something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
So they basically replaced him with charges that they knew he couldn't wiggle out of. That's what it seems like to me, anyway.
yeah, that's what I suspect as well. And I think to the extent of making a point to the child fainting, they can't confirm
Yeah.
what transpired to actually say that it was sex, right? There was
So
actual
then
intercourse.
the
But with
other thing,
molestation, go ahead.
um, she's about the drugs in her system. If that was the case, shouldn't he have charges for that too, or they like
He
radon?
does. It's the controlled delinquency of a minor.
Yeah. I think somebody just hit their audio jack or something.
That's not me.
I don't think it's me.
Shoe play queen, we won't know if there's a toxicity report.
Shoe
Um,
play. If you use, oh, not shoe play. Ma'am, Queen. I don't know your name, Queen. Check and make if you're using a headset. Check and make sure it's plugged in all the way.
yeah, that's woo. I'm glad I took my headphones off. Yeah, we don't know if there's a toxicology report. If there is one, that information won't come out until
Until the
po-
trial.
yeah, until the trial, or they might release some information at this December hearing, because that's like a status update, and they may submit something there that we can see. Um,
Do you need to go
but we don't
outside?
know.
DJ.
Can the mother sue Polite?
In a civil
Um,
case afterwards.
Yeah, she can definitely, after this case is over, she can definitely sue.
Go on. Go with DJ.
So according to the report, Shoe Play Queen, um, the samples that they collected off of the daughter are semen samples, and I'm supposing that they collected some sort of like oral swab from Michael Noack to confirm that his DNA matched the samples that they collected off of her clothing.
That's what he went down there in June, July for.
Yeah,
June.
that's why everybody was talking about it
He
wasn't
said he had a
semen, it was
DNA
spit.
warrant.
That was him actually. That was a swab that they probably collected to
Yeah.
confirm that the DNA matched from both of those different samples. Um, but yeah, it's been a lot of crazy like misinformation.
Hmm.
But
It's a
it's
big
all
misinformation campaign headed by Polight and his minion, his little followers.
yeah. They say those charges carry 15 years each, tops. Yeah, so both of the charges, let me go back in. So the two,
Unless they're mitigating circumstances. And remember, those other two charges are still there. They just aren't in play right now. They aren't
right,
completely gone. They just ain't completely healed. They
right.
could slam
So
them down on top of them too. And one, if I'm
yeah.
not mistaken, one of those is life.
Yeah, but the crazy part is that when we're looking, because I had to go to Online Sunshine and kind of look at the
Hmm.
statutes and then how they also like what the max term. So like they, even though they're not pursuing the sexual battery and the engaging in child sex, the two lewd and lascivious child molestation charges at max carry 15 years each. Um, I can't remember what the conduct of a child, but I think that but it's another felony. So,
Hmm.
and an exhibition is another felony. But just looking at the lewd and lascivious child molestation charges, both of those counts carry 15 years.
Yeah, shoe play queen. You right. Because remember that phone call Inky got about that mysterious lady Nikki. Oh, and remember, the DA said there was another charge coming. I can't remember out what it was off top,
I think it
but
might be
yeah,
like a kidnapping charge. Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, I can't remember exactly the wording she used for it, but it was kind of serious.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they slapped on some sort of kidnapping, because if we just go by the reports and from things, because I can't confirm, because in the report itself the mother doesn't say whether or not she agreed to him going to Michael Noack taking the daughter to the club, right? That part is not there on the report. However, people are saying that she never gave
permission to
she
go to the
yeah,
club in the
to
first
leave
place.
the premises of the property, right?
Yeah.
So if that information is true and he told the police one thing while he told the mother something else, they most likely will slap like a kidnapping charge on him too. Because essentially he stole the girl and then took her to a completely different hotel room.
Yeah.
That was the end result. She left one hotel room to end up in another hotel room.
Mm-hmm. And look, they can add more charges at any time. Anytime they feel like it, they can go ahead and add more charges. And aren't they in discovery right now?
I know they motioned for discovery early on,
Yeah,
but they're
so they
still
might
putting a
have
lot.
more evidence that they haven't gone over, like surveillance tapes from them hotels, because we know Polight likes to be fancy, and places like that on the race they tapes every day.
Yeah, so it's crazy right now. Yeah, there's a possibility that they may slap a kidnapping charge on this listing of other charges as well. Child endangerment. That I mean, because this is the thing. Like, if you want my honest opinion, I think that they just want to prosecute this case to where they get a guilty verdict if he doesn't plea out, right? So they're trying to be
Mhm.
very cautious about the charges that they add to this case because they don't want the jury to look like you guys are just throwing all these wild
Yeah, they
charges
don't
on
want them
him.
to throw it out,
Um,
or the jury to, say that's too harsh or something
yeah.
like that. They don't want him to slip through the cracks. They doing everything they can right now to make sure he doesn't slip through the cracks.
Well, Miss Shupley, I think that's part of the question. Earlier in if you were actually present for the actual Zoom hearing, as soon as his case came up, the prosecutor, she kind of like threw the whole gambit of information about, he's a social media influencer, the bail wasn't set correctly, and we've been hearing things that he's been reaching out to the witnesses and threatening them. Like these are things that
Hmm.
she was saying. And the way that I perceived that information, um, I think she was aiming to try to get his bail revoked
Hmm.
altogether.
But the
Um,
thing was, whatever, she hadn't put that information in. So because the judge was like, he didn't have anything except for that piece of paper in front of him. So
mhm,
that's the holdback. But she also said, when she said she was going to file another charge, she said she was going to file to up the bail again because she wasn't able to up the bail. All they did was adjust the bail today.
according to the
So
charges that are
there
on
should
the,
be
yeah,
another docket coming up for another hearing for a motion to increase the bail. So
yeah.
if that docket goes through, that motion is put in place. Polight ain't got no money like everybody thinks that he got money. If more girls come forward, it's gonna get way more serious for Polight. That's why I encourage anybody that has been affected by Polight, physically or financially, to call these people and let them know. If anybody knows how to get in contact with Renintet's mother or father, now would be the time to call them, because they're not going to answer strange numbers. They're not going to talk, most of them aren't going to talk to content creators. Ashley would be somebody that might need to go forward and speak up if she saw him with Renintet, because
I
Renintet
think
indeed
she did a
was.
live with Young Pharaoh.
Did she? I don't watch Young
Yeah.
Pharaoh, so I missed that one.
Yeah, I seen it. Somebody else was posting it on their channel, but I watched the whole thing. She talked about the apartment, that it was only a two-bedroom, but there were like six
Oh,
people
you
living
talking
in
about back
there.
when she first left?
No, this was her recalling it recently, I feel like, because she was in
Okay.
like a this wasn't because she was sitting in her kitchen at her home because the music's baby was like bigger.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so this if it was something recent. So she was just kind of recalling um um, how she remembered that whole experience. But she talked
Yes.
about, the fact that it was a really expensive apartment that they lived in, but it was only a two-bedroom and it was really small and there's six people
Yeah.
in there. She had said things about the fact that the daughter, what's her name, Mayat, she was sleeping on the sofa.
I just
Some
call her
nights,
Little Light.
and she painted a very vivid picture of her experience with him. And she also said during that time she was, to the later part of it, she started dating music. So while Michael Noack is telling people that that's his wife, she's in a whole other relationship, like taking weekends to go see music, you
Yeah.
know so it's there's so much stuff online that they can paint a really strong character case. Like, not
Hmm.
just let's just forget for a moment that there is DNA, but there's so much information out there that they can pull up about his character alone. I mean, they can pull up, the whole thing with Renentet. They can pull up,
Yeah, because there's a
like,
book.
yeah, they can pull up the fact that there was a book written, and then if you actually read the book, the book comes off as like this whole guide of grooming 101, you know? So there's a lot of things that can be said in this case that I think that the attorney general's office is, paying very close attention to. But I'm pretty sure that we will see, some more uh, files or reports added to the docket, as far as, because I'm still looking. I haven't seen anything about bail being posted, but I don't want to say that he's in jail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's no update about, them receiving bond for um the the readjusting of his actual bond. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of things going on. So um, you know, it's just
They
getting
might not have
started.
been able to file everything today. She might have to file some more stuff tomorrow, or it
I
might just not have popped up yet.
I don't know. I
There's
don't know.
there's many variables.
Hmm. Yeah, but I mean, and I think people are. I was saying it yesterday on Queen's Throne's channel about,
Zion
like,
Lex got it on now too.
oh, he has it on his channel now. What, like, where he
Hmm.
been at? He had like that whole. He got like
Yeah,
this
wait,
dossier.
he still got to bring out the audio. He said he was gonna bring out. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna put myself on mute for a second. She having a temper
Sure.
tantrum.
But yeah, so there's, still the conversation of, and this is what I've been saying from the very beginning, is making sure that the mother and daughter are protected and in a safe place during this whole, because I mean, this trial may take months for us to see, because again, a status update hearing is scheduled for December. Like I said, we're just really getting started with this thing. But you know the protection of the mother and daughter in this case are real things that we have to consider. And the only reason that I say that is because um Vlad TV is going to be another great one. Possibly. I mean, they got the video, so um but yeah, so like and just understanding, like, I have a friend that had a personal experience with Polight and had um $60,000 defrauded from him from Michael Noack. Um and listening to him explain the story to me, there's a lot of what typically happens is, Polite will have an interaction with that individual, he'll get the money, and then the conversation will just slowly start to degrade. But then when that particular person comes out and they're going to speak their story on other platforms that have hundreds, if not thousands, of followers, then a conversation starts again to kind of um, um, you know, uh, to kind of quell that particular person into not saying anything. Um,
I'm back.
so yeah, that New York case is uh,
That's for Anuket's baby.
yeah,
Anuket is Renentet's mother. She had a baby by Polite. They, I don't think the child was taken by the state of New York. I think the mother took the child and left and went and filed for assistance or something. Polite sued New York and CPS and her.
right.
You can find that case
Yeah, it's
easily.
online. Yeah, if
Yeah.
you go like to Justia, or like what's it called, Justia Law, you can
Uh-huh.
pull that case up. Like, for people who don't have access to Pacer, um, But yeah, it's online. It's public record. She left. She took the baby, and he sued everybody because he couldn't see his kid. That's essentially what happened.
I think
Um,
she left because he was trying to groom Ren and Ted, but I guess he succeeded because that's when she ran off,
yeah,
and she been with Polight ever since.
yeah.
So yo, so what? This nigga Zion could get clapped for this, right?
Say
What
that
you mean?
again.
Zion could get clapped for this though, right?
He
Because he a
can.
big page. It's not about like the smaller page. The smaller page might get away with whatever. But I'm just saying though, a page like him that's been blasting off at Polite, he I think is the only person that's gonna get hit with the cyber defamation litigations. Wait,
Now hold on.
wait.
You was there last night. That's not real.
I know, but it's real to Polite. You got to remember this is Polite's world. And he might have a victim of this. He might have one victim, and that's
DJ. Well, it ain't gonna be Polight that's
Well,
gonna
I
get him.
mean,
It's gonna be Miami
Taharka
Dade.
has it on his channel too.
who have
Yeah,
it. Talk up.
Taharka
yeah.
has it.
Oh, that's crazy, bro.
They snapping right now.
Yeah, but
All
the
I
court
know is
says,
what I
but the
clearly said
judge
on the
herself,
website.
but the judge herself says, do
Himself.
not put this on, do not do nothing with social media and all of this shit. The judge was saying some shit like that I heard.
That's
Was
what
saying
I'm
like,
saying.
that's what I heard the judge saying
It's a
something.
big old placard in red before you can even get to the Zoom meetings that says
Yeah,
that.
It says it, right?
yeah.
It doesn't say it on the PDF, but if you go to the Florida website, it says it. But
It
I
says, don't
told
record this, right?
everybody before I gave this link out.
What it say? Don't record it, right?
Yeah, it says do not record, do not take screenshots.
And they doing that shit.
Lions Roar said drop the link.
That's because they didn't
To the,
read.
Drop the link.
yeah, they just wanted to be the first exclusive. Okay, I had an exclusive this morning. I got the whole audio from the trial, and I'm not worrying about my channel getting out.
I got the whole footage too. I got the whole shit in my email, but
Exactly.
I
We
ain't
ain't
wanna.
worried about getting out because we followed the instructions. We did not record the audio. I mean, we did not record the video, and we did not take screenshots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gary, it's a pandemic of another kind.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, they they tripping right now. So like I said, they gonna be out here doing they didn't take the time to read. And if anything does happen with them,
It's
you
gonna be
know,
on them.
it's gonna
We
be
got
on
these
them.
channels. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Polite is gunning for them. That's the people he want. He don't want no regular people. That's the people he want to get. Is them motherfuckers. Inky, the
And they
Harker.
still, but you don't see Inky live streaming nothing, do you?
Inky not stupid. Inky is the
Exactly.
number one nigga would have been on that shit. You remember Inky was going like he was the best nigga in YouTube show business. He was
Right.
up every day, all day. He was running with that, but he fell back because of the
Hey,
little backlash he been getting though too. Probably he probably got probably because of that too. Because he been getting backslash. Because I don't know how you cover everything and you don't cover this. This is big. This is big news.
yo, and I think
Anybody know if Sinetta
part of
has
the
posted
problem
anything yet?
that the prosecutor is having is that this could be so wide reaching. They're trying to make sure they don't miss nothing,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I don't know. Someone,
Ain't
if they're
nobody scared of NOAC. The state of Florida said do not record this video and do not take screenshots. They
yeah,
ain't gonna have to worry about
when you
him.
enter
Polite is
into the
petty enough to
live,
tell on them.
there's a banner before you actually get in. Like there's a screen that well, I mean, people know Zoom. The screen to set up your profile, and in that profile there's a banner that says, you can't record, so um, you know, it is what it is. If
Yeah.
they decide that they wanna um post it on their channels, then, like I said, I mean, because
Activated, you can put the audio
it's not a
up.
surety that anything will happen to them, right? So they could just skate under the radar as far
Yeah.
as the state of Florida is concerned.
But Petty
But
Murphy say everybody going down. He petty enough to call the folk and tell
Eugene
them,
Eugene
you
said
cheat.
he coming after everybody, even the commenters. He coming after
Mhm.
everybody. He got a lot of money to spend. I like to see that happen.
According to him, he got 100K just for being petty. He must not know how much an IT team like that'll cost.
He must not know how much lawyers are going to cost in all these
Look,
states to
he
try to
would have
file
to
these
pay
civil
the
suits.
lawyers to start the paperwork to actually charge these people. Then the lawyers are going to source out and find an IT team to go through and find all these comments and all this other stuff. Then you got to pay the lawyers who going to in turn pay the IT team. And that is not cheap.
No, it's not. Everybody got to get paid. Everybody.
Mhm. Look,
The lo-
IT's charging by the hour. And
Oh,
them
they start
numbers
out with a
running.
flat out retainers fee. Like, this is going to, on
For something
average,
like
take
that,
me
they
so
gonna
many
charge you up
hours.
front, and you put in a deposit, and you can
Yep.
give it to us when we done, depending on how much we find, and depending on how many hours it takes. For something like that, they ain't gonna charge you. They ain't gonna charge you a lump sum, because it might take 20 minutes or it might take 20 days. So it's all gonna be dependent on how long it took to do the work, how much manpower they actually had to put in it. And for an endeavor like that, that's a lot of manpower. That's more than 100K right there, not including the lawyer fees.
Yeah.
If he want to do it right, and he say he petty enough to do it, he
Yeah.
don't have the
And
money for that if he just got 100K stacked away.
yeah, and lawyers and attorneys, they line item everything. So
Yep.
typ typically how it works, like say I was to go to a lawyer and I need them to represent me for something. They'll say, well, typically with cases like this, to get started, it takes us around like 10, 20 hours. In order for you to retain my services, it costs X however many dollars. Um, um, oh, Mr. C, I'm sorry. Uda, where are you at? Yo, he took a somebody said they in the
Oh,
backstage.
Mr. Stacy, Mr. C said, "Hey, there you go."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they go into after if whatever it is that they're trying to complete surpasses that, say,
Mm-hmm.
hypothetically 20 hours, they charge by the hour at that point. And then they also
Yes.
line item what additional you're paying for. So say that they have to do, like say they have to search Experian for this person, because you can look up somebody
Mm-hmm.
without a social security number, right? All you need is a
Yeah.
name, address, and a birth date. Um, and they check Experian to get an address, or they subpoena, they go to the courts and pay like 25 cents per page for court records or something like that. um, so they line item that, and those are additional fees if whatever you're trying to do doesn't get done within that initial retaining period.
Oh, Angelica, let me ask you, in
Yes,
your
ma'am.
opinion, what do you think of Rawson Law Firm?
So I think Rawson Law Firm is trying really hard to be like a very huge law firm. Like
They
if you look
got
at the review,
billboards on the side of the freeway.
yeah, like if you look in Florida, like they're like heavy hitters for the state of Florida, but for like a lot of petty stuff like DUIs,
Mm-hmm.
traffic, citations, things like that. They do have quite a few criminal cases. They do a lot of class action lawsuits as well, but those are like easy ones, right? But when you start looking at their criminal lawsuit history, that's where it kind of gets a little bit gray. But they do um it seems like they generally know what they're doing, but I haven't seen any other, like, super celebrities that they've defended and won cases for. A lot of it is like class action lawsuits. um but that's not to negate that they don't have any, because every business has a heavy hitter, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know whether David
I
Terrace
think
is one of
Rawson is
those.
the heavy hitter for that law firm. The banner
Yeah,
person.
Adam or whatever his
Yeah,
name.
Adam. I
Yeah.
think Adam Rawson is the heavy hitter. I'm
But
like,
that speaks to that speaks to Polite's money. So he doesn't have the chair of the firm defending him. He has one of his
because I think
associates
he talked
defending
his
him.
way in, and Adam was going to defend him, But then they figured out he didn't have the money he said he did, and they dropped it down to this dude.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, we'll see. I mean, the trial ain't hit yet. We'll see. We'll see what it's hitting
I don't
for.
know. He looked shook, and even after the judge told him, we're not here for that. That can be addressed at a later time. He still tried to bring it up twice.
Yeah.
What he tried to bring up?
Something to do with the bond, because she was trying to revoke his bond, but the judge said that he didn't have enough for that right now. They was there for what they was there for, and that would have to be addressed later.
Yeah, he was trying to bring up the fact that she didn't put a lot of the filings in until the last minute. So he was just trying to encourage the judge to not take what her stance was seriously, because a lot of the motions didn't get submitted until like later on in the evening, like the day or a few days before the hearing actually went
The
up.
hearing was on the 15th. The paperwork got filed at 4:54.
Yeah, like he brought up the actual timestamp. Like she didn't submit until
I know he ain't lying because I was refreshing the county clerk office website.
Yep. Yeah, so he wasn't happy. So I think what it was is that they didn't really have time to look at all the motions that have been filed for the case, well, at least on the defense's side, and really kind of pick them apart. So they had a good strategy this morning. Because it really wasn't it it to me, like there wasn't really a whole lot to mention except for the fact that Nicole had said, well, I'm going to put in another motion to increase the bail, since because the judge was like, well, we can't increase the bail on charges that were just submitted. And she's like, no, but what you're looking at on your information are the old charges. What I'm talking about are the new charges here. And he's like, oh, well, if that's the case, well, let's increase the bail according to the charges that are on the information. And then I think she wanted to lead into the fact that she wanted to have his bail revoked. But old boy David was like, well, she just submitted this, last night, the other day, and he made it seem like it wasn't fair to them that it was submitted in, because it was
but he got the continuance because of that, because she filed it Tuesday. The first hearing was Wednesday. Then we hear today, and he fussing again. It's like he don't know how to defend Polight, and he trying to buy time.
Yeah. So
well, what's crazy? Somebody said something about Tahaka sharing the screenshots or whatever, but I'm happy he did do that because it gave you a deeper clarification, even though he took that risk. Because
you know what, he could have gave you the Zoom link so that you could watch it yourself.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. I wish I could have got it from you. I just heard you say
the Zoom link out. What was it, yesterday morning?
I didn't know, sister. I don't follow the page.
Every content creator had ample time to disseminate that to their subs. They could have pointed them in the direction of where the link was.
Yeah, and how people are. Everybody wants to, to be the first.
Everybody want to be first. I ran with the audio instead. Why do you have to sit up there and look to see that it's Polight? You can hear him. Michael Eugene Nowak Jr.
Well, I'm not mad on him for that because that way it just get a clear situation. The point I was making,
I ain't mad.
It was a lot of people.
I ain't mad. This is just like watching what's the name of that old TV show they used to have? The Stupidest Criminals in America.
Oh my God.
It's like watching an episode of that. I promise you.
But I think I get your point, MC, about even though it wasn't necessarily the best thing for Taharka to post the clips or the screenshots of the live stream, I think it also gave people a perspective that this ain't over yet. Like he's really
that and along with a lot of people who's kind of confused about the charges and the evidence and what's sticking and what's not. It kind of clarified a lot of things
that broke all that stuff down.
I'm sorry. Then I'm not here to argue with you. I just wanted to make my point.
Late because he been gathering information from other people and coming out and making it look like his own.
So are you upset that he made the video and got views or what?
No, I'm not upset.
Care about that. I just want to make a point. Okay, so I just want it's a lot of people who.
But see, he done put himself in a pickle because Polight watching along with the prosecutor, and he petty enough to call them folk and get them in trouble.
I understand that, but if from what I heard on the video, you know, when the attorney made the claim about the semen, and I didn't hear objection after that. That's all the clarity I need to know, because now they, you know,
This
they
wasn't a
clarify.
trial though. This
Hold
was
on,
just a
that
hearing. She
clarify.
was stating
Yes, but
facts.
even at a hearing, they can say, you know, they can say, well, excuse me, Your Honor, you know, that we don't have any confirmed, you know, it's not been confirmed. Then nobody denied. You know,
Y'all
I've
don't
been
trust
to
nobody, not even the
so
I
you
don't think
saying
he's
that
saying that.
so you hold on, so
huh?
you're saying that it's not a match?
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay, so that's what I was saying. I'm saying that they
But we
clarifying that it
already
could.
knew that. I'm saying
You might have
everybody
knew
wants
that.
something else to
You might have knew
solidify
that.
it for them.
Listen. It's not possible for everybody to know everything. That's not possible. So just because you knew it doesn't mean I knew it. That's all I'm saying. And the
When this
fact that
story
now,
first came out, it was told that there was 6 points of semen. Here we are, a month later, and it's still 6 points of semen. I mean, if you ain't found that out in this month, it's all over here.
I understand that, man. But what I'm
All
saying
I'm
is,
saying is they don't put themselves in a jam that they might not be able to get themselves out of. I don't care what they do, really.
worst case scenario, they start a new page. They're like, if you think somebody can take 100K, and you know how some of these people we have up to
I ain't worried
2,000
about
people.
polite. See, that's
No,
where y'all
listen.
got it twisted. The
No. You
court
worry about
said
him. Them folks
don't
ain't finna come.
record and don't
Let
take
me tell you something
screenshots.
about these courts. These folks ain't finna waste their time to try to prosecute that many people on YouTube. You know how many people screenshot stuff? In fact, the county that I'm from, they scream all their court hearings on Facebook because the crime and violence is that high. So you can get on Facebook and go to the Zoom link, the ledger, and it'll show you whatever going on in the
Yeah, they got
courtroom.
CPS cases
So
on Zoom all the live long day on YouTube.
this is what I'm saying. Think about listen what I'm saying. They do have laws, and yes, they could get in trouble. I agree to that. But the same people who can get in trouble for screenshotting those, you know, and recording that stuff, this is public information. If you're in Dade County, you can walk in the courtroom and sit down. What they gonna say? Oh, you
Yes,
can't
you
come in because
certainly
you're not a
can, but
part
you
of the
can't
case.
walk in and record in Dade County courtroom.
Of course, but it's this, you know, we don't know
And the
for a
same
fact.
rules are
Hold on, let me
supposed to
finish.
apply.
Can I?
At the
Okay,
very
man.
least, if they do get in trouble, they're gonna get the Zoom link. They're gonna get the Zoom link revoked. At the very least, if they want to press it, they can press it. But it's
You
just a
know,
simple
you can
fact of the
create
matter.
you.
I'm the one that put the Zoom link out, and I
Okay, so
told them
it
this
will hold on, listen,
beforehand, and they did
it
it
will make
anyway.
it would make more sense that you say that you're upset because they did something that can, you know, jeopardize you.
It
I
don't
understand that.
jeopardize me. It's gonna jeopardize them. But I said that before. I said that when I put it out. They just don't like to follow instructions, and they think they know better than everybody else. But you know, the same people that you get your ass to kiss on the way up is the same people you're gonna be begging on the way down. This is
You said
about the standards and morals that we require of people. See, oh, it's okay because Taharka Bay did this because we needed the information. But what if the next thing Taharka Bay does isn't so okay? This is how we got to the point where we got with Polight. Fuck views. I ain't trying to get monetized. I don't make money off of this shit.
oh well, you're not trying to make no money, sister. I mean, I understand
I ain't
that, you
trying to
know.
make no money off of this shit. I'm just here
Can
trying to
I
spread
talk, please?
awareness.
Can I talk, please,
Go
sister? Please, can
ahead.
I get a word out? Like, please,
I don't
because if
let
it's
you
gonna
get
go
plenty
like
of
this,
words out. Don't
yeah,
try
now
that.
without interrupting, I let you have the mic. If you're not gonna let me have the mic, then you know y'all have a blessed day. I'm not even here for that. It's like if I agree with you, it's a problem. If I'm trying to get
Now,
information
I
and
might
find out and
sound
get an
like I'm
understanding for
arguing
myself,
with you, but my throat kind of fucked up
anytime,
because I've been doing this.
no. Anytime somebody's speaking and you constantly speak over them, that's rude. That just that's common sense. That's part of just being respectful to others. If you're talking and you got a point or you're asking the information or something, you know, I owe you that to listen to what you have to say. That's all I'm saying. But every time I say something, well, to Hawkins shouldn't like, dog, can I get the point
I'm
out?
just
To the
telling
point,
you where I'm
to
coming
the
from
point,
with
if
this. But
somebody's
I had
talking,
already said this.
they can lose their point of thought. I could have had something I wanted to say, and then by the time I get a chance to talk, you say, talk, I done forgot what I wanted to say. Because I done sit here spending 30 seconds to a minute going back and forth with you. I done forgot what I was even talking about. That's all I'm
And
saying.
you've
We don't
been
have to be
going about
rude.
to yourself, talking about how I keep going. Go ahead, keep going.
No, you know what? You got it. Y'all have a blessed day. Take it easy.
You
No,
too.
go ahead and speak your piece, brother. Don't leave. Oh, he left. I would have liked to hear his thoughts. Brother MC, if you could come back and speak, I would appreciate that. Because I'm interested in everybody's point of view. Um, but but yeah, I think to his original point, I think some folks, because they weren't privy to the fact that UCCC had shared the link.
But see,
And
that's my thing. Taharka got the link from me. It would have been a
yeah,
simple thing for him to do the same thing I did. But that's
right,
not the point. The point is they more worried about the view. You sit up and say, I'm worried about the views. No, they worried about the views because they didn't disseminate it to their subs to let it go as it pleased. If they would have did that, it would have reached farther than I did it.
right.
But see, this is how they operate. More
Hmm.
people could have been made aware, but he wanted everybody to come over to his channel for an exclusive. I don't give a damn if Taharka Bay make 10 cents or $10,000 on this joint, as long as he's not hurting somebody else in the process. And this is how we got where we are now, with everybody letting everything slide, with Sinetta, with Polight, with the rest of these folk. Oh, it's okay. Everybody got to make money. It's okay until somebody gets hurt.
Yeah, that is true. I think that people should. Because I feel like that just goes into content creating in general. Like if you've gotten information from a source, you should cite your sources. I mean, wasn't that? I mean, that's kind of what the debates were about.
And
Like,
he
I
didn't even
have.
have to mention my name. He could have took the link and did the same thing I did.
He could have posted it in a community tab and say, y'all, the hearings this morning, we're going to talk about it after the hearing at such and such a time. He could have, but he chose not to. So it would, I don't know if he spoke to that point, like, um on his show. I haven't heard it as of yet. But I mean, if he did, that's one thing. But if he doesn't, then that kind of shows his hand as well. Like, like you, to your point that, it seems like it's more for views than it is for really giving the people the information to critically think about what they're hearing. But yeah, so I mean, I think I understand the brother's point when he said, for the folks that didn't know that there was a link that was shared.
That's what
He
I'm saying. But for the folk that didn't know, they would have known if he
They
would
would
have put
have.
it up.
They would
Because the
have.
same way they went to his live, they would have went to his community tab. If I had access to the community tab, I would have did it that way. I asked everybody when I shared it out to share it out. But the
Hmm.
only people that actually do what I asked them to do is other small content creators. And everybody want to give the big content creators a pass. Oh, this and oh, that. But they do the same shit every time. They sit
That's a
up here and
fact.
hoard information. They always got to have an exclusive, and in the meantime, in between time, it's people running around here talking about Polight ain't got no charges and all this, that, and the other. All this could have been resolved this morning.
I think the bigger issue is the fact that one, this case is not very publicized, and y'all have found a way for us to be able to see what's going on inside the courtroom. And him doing something like that can end it, and then we really won't know
Yeah,
nothing
what if
that's
they
going on.
stop the Zoom? What if they stop letting participants into the Zoom meetings because of that BS?
Yeah.
Then we got to depend on the same people that go down there and don't really tell us what's going on until they feel like it.
Yeah.
It's not about views and content for me. If it was, I would have been. I could have been had over 1,000 subs. I'm only out right now because this needs to be known. And every time something like this happens, the reason it gets swept under the rug is because the big content creators push the little content creators out or down. Oh, they just clout chasing, they just want some views, this, that, and the other. While they sitting up here with the real information, but they feeding you what you want, what they want you to know, so that they can keep you around and keep the donations running. And that's a part of this shoe play queen. These are the people I'm talking about. Taharka Bay low key cake for Sinetta, even though he acts like he's a separate platform. That leads right to the HOK. All of these people are connected behind the scenes. And they do, this is an orchestrated effort by them to push misinformation on people.
Info man, you should pull up. I don't know. Uda, you still listening? What he done went to work on us.
Uda closed the private chat and ran off. He closed the private chat and locked it. Uda went to bed and left us up here.
Oh my God, this is so real. But it's the community's platform. I wish I had the keys to the car to let you pull up Info Man, because I would love to hear your take on this. Or maybe you could talk. I don't know if you have a show schedule, Info. You got to let me know.
What time is it anyway? It's 4:45.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot of people I would love to hear their perspective. I'm kind of sad that the one brother just dropped off.
I mean, he cut me off. So, reciprocation is always a great thing, but it's only noticed when you do it to them.
Yeah. Yeah,
He
that is
like
true.
Queen said, talk about his hoe.
Because the first thing, what do you have against Tahaka about getting some views? This isn't about views. This is about the fact that a predator has been walking amongst us for 5 years, and these mofos ain't did nothing about it. Now everybody
Nothing.
running over to them to see, oh, what we supposed to do now?
But you know what? It's stuff like that, and the people that come in and say the stuff like that, these are the people that help enable this type of shit to go on. Because if your mind can't think past why you hating on him getting some views, this ain't got nothing to do with nobody damn views. Okay, this is about predators on children in the black community. Period. Like, I don't care about your views, fuck your exclusives, all this crazy shit they doing. It's detracting from the actual problem.
Exactly. Like I said, whatever consequences he has to face on his head, be it. But the simple fact of the matter is, it would have got out to more people, and more people would have known and been able to see what was going on if he'd have just simply, him and Zion Lex, if they'd have simply shared the link out.
Yeah.
Give people the option to watch it themselves.
Yeah.
How
that's
hard
a
is
fact.
that? But everything has to be about $1. You want to give Tahaka Bay a pass. You just gave Tahaka Bay a pass about them donations he took up to go to Miami. Oh, so what? This is supposed to make up for that? No, them donations still gone. That van still ain't appeared. And he gonna ask for some more donations for December. Watch what I say.
And you're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right. But
Lex did something with the link too.
Exactly, Shoe Play. He came over here to try to disrupt what was going on. I can't stand that. But you interrupted me. Yeah, and you sat up here and talked about how I interrupted you for 3 minutes and I ain't say nothing. And you never, now you made me forget what I got to say because you went on a rant. But you said talk and it threw me off. Okay, cool. Whatever. He's right up there with George. Eugene, come get your people. I'm tired of them today.
Yeah, but I think we were talking about it earlier. Shoe Play Queen, about his wives, and I was speculating that I wouldn't be surprised that the feds aren't closely watching this case, because in the backdrop of all of this is wire fraud and bank fraud.
Yeah. Leonard, my homie is in the house. Leonard.
But yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised, like, let alone the fact that these women, whether it be by them standing idly by or being active participants, allowed this kind of environment ensue in that team of Michael Noack, right, underneath of that brand. So the question then becomes, how far does that rabbit hole go when we start to talk about wire fraud, bank fraud, and how these women essentially gave what they call their quote unquote husband the allowance to take advantage of a young girl. So that's a real thing. That's a real thing.
Kathy Johnson went to jail with Dwight. And if y'all don't know who Dwight is, that's Malachi Z. York, otherwise known as Chief Black Eagle Thunderbird, ooh, excuse me, also known as Imam Issa, also known as Baba. And for people that don't like him, your peppermint patty will do.
Well, let me refresh this site, see if any bail was posted yet. Let's
Well,
see.
only one of them is a mother, Gary, and that's Amunet, the bottom bitch.
Nope,
I don't
nothing
know,
there.
right? I don't think she responsible. Like literally,
She's
Victoria.
in collusion with wire fraud.
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
I don't say it like she ain't responsible for wire fraud. I mean like she ain't the lights on, but ain't nobody home. You know, it's a picnic, but all the sandwiches ain't in the basket. She always just look like. Remember that picture they always put up of Beyonce talking about MK Ultra, where she's sitting there like singing to herself, bobbing her head.
Mm-hmm.
That's always the vibe Riot give me.
Mm. You know, yeah, that there's definitely a conversation that has to happen, and you know, I also think that that's going to open up a whole other can of worms because when we start to talk about that aspect about how these women participated in one wire fraud and potentially, I mean, we don't know the facts, but potentially participated in this sort of
Whoa.
environment that created this culture, then you're going to have a lot of people coming out of the woodwork to speak
Mm-hmm.
about some of the atrocities that women have done. And that was speaking to the point earlier. That there are a lot of women that are predators that do perpetuate harm onto others, children, and in some cases, including grown ass men. And because they're deemed as women and the social view of women is that they're weaker than men, that these sort of incidents just kind of go right under the rug. So,
All females don't have motherly instincts. All
no.
females don't like children. All females don't stand for females. It's a whole bunch of ooh.
Yeah, somebody's probably not going to like. I don't know how fast and how many people are going to view this, but when that part of the conversation happens, there's going to be a lot of women that aren't going to like that. Um,
Yeah.
because they want to be in defense of womanship, and this is not to say that all women are this way. These are these are variables in a vast pool of people. um, but the reality is that it does happen, and it's a real thing. And that conversation needs to be had about us women, as much as we talk about men checking other men, especially in regards to child abuse, that us women need to check other women when it comes to us perpetuating the same behavior onto other people, because it's not right. It's not okay that just because we're women that we should get you know a pass for doing some of the things that some women have done. um
Mm-hmm.
I
There are women that speak out about that type of stuff. They normally get called big cameras and pick me and shit like that because
Hey, if somebody wants
we
to call me
don't
a pick me, that's cool.
I mean, they
necessarily.
was in the chat talking about mammies last night. I don't care. All you gotta tell them is your mama. Say something.
But you know what? I think in addition, like I think some women will listen to other women, but I think just like a lot of these dudes in missing
Some women
properties,
won't
the
listen
same
to
so
women.
go with these women. And I think a lot of
Mm-hmm.
them will be more receptive to it coming from a man because they didn't have that father presence in their life.
Yeah.
And I think that's one reason why they so venomous toward each other or a woman correcting them. Or don't nobody like to be told that they ain't doing the right thing anyway. But I do think we need more conversations about the shit that we do as women, and instead of all this pointing at men, because ain't nothing we can do about that dude doing what he do. He gonna do what he do, whatever, however he wants to. And if we have a better head on our shoulders, a clear head on our shoulders, then we can make better choices. And if he's a damn degenerate, then we'll know to stay away from his ass. But I think because a lot of the focus and the loudest voices are pointing at men and all of their flaws, we're not doing a really good job about cleaning up our shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, I mean, if you ladies are for it, and we can get Uda to clock out of whatever position he's holding right now. Um,
That would be be called the Sleep Factory, baby.
Whatever that position is. Maybe we can get him, or even maybe Triple C, even on your platform, we can put something together for us to at least start the conversation.
Okay, well,
You
it's
know, with
5
some other.
now. Chuck's supposed to be coming on at 8:30. So yeah, we can jump on there for a little while.
I mean, like to schedule, like if we could reach out to some other sisters who want to participate in that sort of conversation.
Okay, well you reach out because I'm most people don't know me. They don't. Like I said, the only reason I'm out is because of my junkie.
Right. That Eugene pack.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've been
I'll,
on go ever since August 18th. Which
yo,
somebody hit me up. They sent me that Tasha K link. I went live while she was live. Buck this. I've been on go ever since.
and the funny
She
part
play
is,
queen.
But you know what? A whole lot of situations would not happen if the other gender was not complicit. Because we have sexual predators of both sexes and we have enablers of both sexes. And both of those elements have to be taken away in order for this not to happen again. The mother that sits by complicit while she knows something's going on in her daughter's bedroom, that needs to be stopped, as well as men doing what they do randomly out while they out and about,
This is the
and women,
craziest
all of these practices have to be what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say adjust so bad, but that ain't it.
exposed.
Addressed. All of these have to be addressed. I had a brain fart like a mofo right there. All of these have to be addressed in order for it to be less of a problem than it is now. It didn't take us 2 days to get here, and it's not going to take us 2 days to fix it.
One of the craziest things I heard was this lady. She had a teenage son, fairly attractive young man or whatever. And the narrative was he be fucking my friend. Wait a minute, what?
wait, the mother said that?
The mother and the sisters, they put the blame on the boy. And I'm like, I can't see no situation where one of my homegirls can come up to me and tell me she's screwing my son. And I'm just gonna be okay with it and just say, oh well, because
And
he a
she
male.
walked away breathing.
They act like it was no, and it wasn't just one of her friends. He was screwing multiple of her friends. And I was
See, and
like,
that's the problem right there. All of them okay with this. That's the problem right there. That mentality needs to be erased. That's okay. And it's like it gets worse and worse every day.
yeah, that's crazy. It's like it's just not uh, enough protection for children in general.
hmm I would
And
start screaming at my son about homework. It's Friday.
but I thought that was absolutely crazy. I was like, so you okay with your grown behind friends screwing your teenage son? That what? But it's his fault that they owe behind screwing him. Where they do that at?
Okay, Angelica.
I had to look up.
Oh, let me get
Okay, it's my thing. Oh, it is on. Yeah. Where it is? I'm 52, and this is one of the few times that I heard black people speak truthfully about such like this sister is a great, great start.
Hey, what's that? What's up with the black square down in the bottom? Is that the one from last night?
I think so, because he
And
said
it's
that
still here.
he said it's supposed to be the other mind, but he goes in and it comes out. So I don't know, like if it's active or it's broken. I don't know. Shoe play queen. I think like if this goes to trial, then if the wives got any involvement, then I do think that's when they shit'll come out during the trial. I don't think it'll come out right now.
I mean, I think
It might come out.
I think Polight's ego is too big for him to plead out. And if the plea deal don't look
Polight, he gonna get his ass locked up before it's time for his trial, because I don't believe he's gonna stay off them lines.
He ain't. He gonna have to come out and say something. And he think he's so smart that he can word it so that the prosecution ain't gonna catch it. Nicole is watching you, Eugene.
You gonna get him.
Oda, you're gonna be on the list next if you don't wake up.
He needs to wake up. Just left. I'm talking about just left
all night. Yeah, exactly, Gary. He'll tell about a pencil eraser you stole in elementary school. It was in kindergarten, Your Honor. Polight don't like to play nice. He like to try to play dirty. So, yes, I have my snacks in place. Like, Tasha, you must be fat. No, I be up here for hours.
This is crazy.
I cook one meal a day. So I keep snacks on deck so I don't starve to death.
I mean, if I was Polight, I'd snitch on everybody else too. You niggas was around here when I was doing
I'm going down. You going, I need some company in my
Okay, shit. If I'm going,
I need a car.
And then like I'm still like, what is up with Sarnetta and he don't want nobody to talk about. And I think that's part of that shit that Polight was doing on that video yesterday, trying to scare people into not talking about what's going on.
With his cyber defamation litigation.
Yeah.
Oh, he sounded so smart and just don't know how dumb he really came off.
$100,000 to get all these people that's making big. But
you know, ITs can charge sometimes upwards of $75 an hour, depending on what you want them to do.
I said $100,000. Who you gonna get? 3 people? Because
you
ain't got enough money for what you.
That's 2 interns. He gonna be on Craigslist. I need an IT specialist.
Okay, ridiculous. I was like, what? $100,000? I put $100,000 to the side. You thought that sounded like a whole lot of money when you thought of it in your head.
He ain't even got $1,000 right now, I don't think. He's sitting up there showing off the place they stay at. Man, we all know you be hanging with Mayweather and the rich folk, and they let you stay at their places they ain't staying at right now. Dude, you think we ain't figured that out yet? Yeah, Polight bluffing, but he's still gonna snitch.
Yeah, I can't see him working with no feds, especially with all that.
Look, if he don't snitch before he go to jail, he gonna snitch after he go to jail to try to get his sentence reduced, or to try to get some special privileges, or for them to keep. All they gotta do is threaten to take his butt out of protective custody. I'm sure he'll tell everything. He'll tell on Jesus. If he think it'll save his own skin, Polight will tell. See, we ain't never seen Polight get pushed all the way up against the wall. This is the first time. I'm still waiting on Zion Lex to give out that audio that he said he got a Frankie in 2.0. It's like they act like they magicians and this is some kind of magic show and they're gonna dazzle you. But all they really got is spirit fingers.
Zion Lex break down everything.
Zion Lex, you know what? Empire Esquire broke down this whole hearing this morning.
Empire Esquire
TV. She is a female lawyer in Florida. Mm-hmm. Which Zion Lex was on her channel. Look, these people go to other people's pages, listen to their stuff, and repeat it to sound smart. They pros at that. They can't do their own digging, but they can show enough dig for somebody else info. Something they can throw on their channel real quick.
Did somebody just sit up here and say, read the Willie Lynch letter? What the hell for?
Huh?
Somebody posted in the chat, read the Willie Lynch letter. I'm trying to figure out what the hell for.
Oh, that was from way earlier, I think.
Oh, okay.
Look, I ain't never been no fan of the HOK and none of that stuff. I've been sitting up here watching them like animals in a terrarium. Sometimes I feel like Steve Irwin around this joint. And here you see the dusty Hotep in his natural environment.
Okay, pretty much. When I first got on YouTube, I liked them because it was all this different shit, all these different. This was before the debate shit started. So it was just them doing all the videos. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. That's how I ended up coming across SETI, and I mean Young Pharaoh came later, but well, I think pretty much out of all of them, SETI is the only one that I still listen to his content.
Was that a buzz?
That's my phone.
Oh, okay. I was finna say, Uda, you woke? I was like, it sounded like you sleeping on your little bus.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm. Gary, I know. If you go back to that first video he did after everybody found out them charges got dropped, look at it real close towards the end. He was finna start crying and banging his head against that side window. Oh, Angelica must be ordering flowers. Oh yeah, he's scared. He real shook. He gonna tell about stuff he just heard about. Well, I dreamed that this happened, so it must be true. He gonna be praying to his father in the night, York. Everybody that left. No, I'm playing. Do y'all have any questions about anything before everybody come back? Anyone? No, I thought it was gonna happen that night, Gary, when he looked like he was about to cry, and then you know how people start. It looked like he was finna start. Then he caught himself. I said, "Oh, it's the caught up when your shit catch up to you. What is you gonna do?" Inside Netta hiding something. Filthy Frank. After I finish this live tonight, I ain't gonna wake up till tomorrow afternoon. And that's what I always tell. UG. He said that mess like he was so ashamed this morning. Michael Eugene Noack Jr. Excuse me. I can't. Angelica said 5 minutes. She must have got put on hold.
Who knows? Okay, I'm back.
I
forgot what I was saying.
I don't even remember. Yeah, I've been up. I'm running on an hour and a half of sleep.
Oh my God.
2 hours. I take that back. 2 hours of sleep. Hey, sis Yaya.
Oh, no, that was for me. What am I looking at? Oh, I'm trying to look at the
They went to the hearing this morning. His bond was 46,000. The prosecutor is talking about putting in another bond increase. He has 6 charges, not 5, but the 6th one hasn't shown up on the county clerk website yet. Um, Zion Lex playing the video right now. I have the audio from today when it happened to Hawker Bay. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Zion is playing the Zoom
He's
call.
playing the video of the
Is
hearing.
something wrong with these? What's wrong with them?
They don't. That's
How you gonna sit up here talking about
know.
this and that for the community instead of doing fuck shit?
That's what I'm saying. But hey, they could have gave everybody the Zoom link, and would nobody be fucking right now.
And I mean, if you gonna say anything, be like, I would show it to you, but this is what it says. You can't do this. Here go the link. Like, what's wrong with
I read it the first time and said I'm just gonna listen to the meeting on my earbud and get commentary. So for the most part I did, but when it came, I pulled that thing up again. I say it didn't say nothing about audio.
Okay, reading is fundamental.
Exactly.
That's a mess. I can't believe it. Okay, and then that prosecutor set up
what I'm saying.
That she was watching social media. She don't see that shit.
Mm-hmm. The prosecutor already said that she's been watching social media, which I didn't know, but I kind of felt like she was, since they led off with saying he was a social media influencer. So, I'm not finna sit up here and get hemmed up.
Right.
So I didn't play nobody else's case out loud. I gave a little bit of commentary. What was his name? One had the Rona. He had the Rona, so he couldn't show up to court. So they had to continue it. But the only one I played the audio out loud was his. And as soon as his was done, I jumped out of the Zoom meeting.
Oh, okay.
They sitting up here. The thing say, do not record video and do not take screenshots. No, we ain't more upset with him than Polight. Really don't get. I told you, whatever Hawker Bay did on his head, be it. I just told somebody where his channel was so they could go watch it. Hey, it's a done data. Ain't nobody upset. Y'all always want to tell somebody how they feel. You ain't in my body. You ain't in my head. I ain't a hater. I ain't a clout chaser. I never spent any money with Polight. I felt like it was my civic duty to point out a scammer in our midst. And for that, I have been called everything but a child of God. So, Lions, I really do not care what you think.
Lions Roar, this damn stream been going on.
You know what? You over here fussing about us, fussing about Hawker Bay. How about you go crank your channel up and start talking about Polight? First, you don't want us to talk about it. Now you don't want us to talk about that. Oh, y'all so wishy-washy.
You just not coming in. So
we've been discussing it, but Uda is asleep, so he can't drop the link. And we don't have the power to let you on. I wasn't talking about you. I'm talking in general. I said all this. But nah, you to sleep or something. He ain't here to drop the link for you. And we don't have that. We don't have the power.
Oh, there go. Oh, we can't get him in even if he do sleep. I was like,
is he here? Who ain't said nothing about an hour?
Yeah, he ain't said nothing in our words. He came in here and dropped the link to the YouTube and the link to something else. He didn't drop no link to the stream, and then he was out again. Up. Is he back? Up. No,
I don't
he
know.
back. Drop the link or something. Drop the link.
Why don't you cut your audio? He must be at work or something. For real. I guess we said if you say Uda name 3 times, you can wake him up.
Oh, he just dropped the link.
Yeah.
So Lions Roar, go hop your ass up here.
You know what? I got chased around earlier this morning saying I was only going at Polight because Sinetta turned me down. I say, you really don't know me, do you? I'm just tired, Lions. I've been up. Do you hear my voice? This is 15 days of Kyle talking about Eugene.
Hey Queens, how's everybody going? This is Nicola V.
Hey.
I I sent the link through the private chat because Zion Lex had actually did a great breakdown of the case, like from what happened today, and he actually has a video from a lawyer as to what's the difference and why
Are you
the
talking about
stuff was
Empire
changed.
Esquire's video?
I'm talking about the Zion Lex.
Yeah, but you said that he has a lawyer on it. He went and got Empire Esquire video.
And he put like the reason why things would be changed, like the
That's
breakdown
what
as
she
to
broke down this morning. That's what I'm saying. If they would,
yeah, like
he was on the channel and lodges.
huh? I can't hear you.
Not nothing.
Oh no, I was just in case you guys didn't see it or anything. I felt like it was like a really good breakdown
I
of.
was in the Zoom meeting.
You was in there?
Yeah.
Oh
I was
wow.
on live playing the audio. They ain't supposed to have that video up, according to Miami-Dade. Hmm.
I said wow. Yeah, but it was just more so like him just saying like because a lot of people had questions like why was the what was the 4 or 5 extra things that was put on, and he breaks down why and which each of them are, and also how actually it's worse than what the first 2 were.
He started out with 2 first-class felonies. Now he has 5 first-class felonies and a misdemeanor.
Yeah, they actually added something on there with kidnapping.
Yeah, that's the 6th one.
Yeah, that's the $5,000 fine.
Yeah, he gonna be in jail pop eventually. But we know how that works out for sexual predators.
Yeah, they don't play around in Florida anyway. Like they don't.
Well,
They
people
did a
be
convict.
thinking like the end all be all is to be monetized. You might as well play her video because she broke it down. You know what? What time is it?
It is
It's
5:19 New York.
5:21. Okay, so that hearing was over. He started at about 10:35 and it was over by about 10:50. Right
No,
after
I
the
know
hearing
that.
ended. Yeah, just stay with me. Right after the hearing ended, Empire Esquire came on, and she's a lawyer down in Florida, and she broke down each individual charge and told everybody where to go find the charges at. It's now 5:30, and Lex coming out with the video that he done had all day long, breaking down charges that's already been broken down. What has he been doing in the meantime? He's been sitting there studying that video, figuring out all the points so that he can bring it back to his channel. I don't care about anybody getting views. That's not my problem. People don't get the information they need because people cherry pick the information from other content creators that don't nobody know about and then bring it like they find it, and they don't. Like, he's credited Empire Esquire before, but this is getting out of hand. They just doing entirely too much.
Respectfully, I believe Zion Lex is actually very credible. He actually breaks down a lot of stuff. I don't
Where
really.
that audio that he said he had, aside other than Nepal.
He actually addresses that too in this video. I know exactly what you're talking about. He addressed all that stuff in the video. I just thought it would be helpful because a lot of people had questions about what was going on, and it's not solely a breakdown. He also has a video up with the reason why they replaced certain things or add certain things because in order for the case to basically stick.
Who down at the bottom with the chess piece?
Sister Yaya.
Oh, hey. I can't see the well, they don't have the names down at the bottom of these anyway. I'm sitting up here trying to look through the breaking news. I know I need them out.
Yeah, I just downloaded that right from Lexus thing so I can watch it later. I just got home.
All I know is that prosecutor seems like she ready.
Yeah,
she got her
ready to go
SpongeBob
swinging.
outfit on.
She came out swinging. I was like, hold up.
It said something about he was harassing the little girl.
Yes.
So did they keep him?
Not this time, but she finna put in another. Look, she said if you look on the county clerk website, it's like four felonies and one misdemeanor, and then the 2 no actions. But in the hearing this morning, she said that she was going right after they finished to go file that 6th charge. She actually named the 6th charge, but I can't remember what it is right now. Okay, Angelica, see you later.
Bye, y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.
But what was I saying?
You said she gonna drop a new charge.
She said that she was gonna file for another bail increase, and she had another charge. I mean, I think more charges might be pending, but they put those 2 first-class felonies as no actions, which doesn't mean that they're withdrawn. That just means that they're not currently in play, per se. But they can always come back into play. And then, okay, so now that makes 6 that's active, because that charge is on the books. It just ain't hit the county clerk website yet. So 6 and 2 make 8. So if he think they took them 2 and put them no action, so they could put them 4 second-class felonies on there, because that way he can't try to blame it on the child or the mother. He can't use any kind of mitigating circumstances to try to wiggle out of it. And I think if they have enough to try him on that, they might drop them other 2 back on his head, or they might threaten him with them to have him take some kind of plea deal, so they don't have to take this to court and don't have to put the minor through stress of testifying, because he is already threatening this child.
Also, like those second-class ones will add up the amount of time. It will add up to a first degree time. Like, so that they basically did that so that it can stick. And because like the first degree battery one, that is broken down, like it has to be with consent or something like that. So it probably he would have went out with a technicality.
No copulation, let's say.
Yeah.
So I think they're not sure if that one is even, admissible to this right here. So I think they putting that to the side because it's still a discovery. They still excuse me, they still got more stuff to go through. So right now,
they want him to get out on a technicality. They don't want him to have no leeway, no wiggle room.
Right now, the charges are kind of fluid, and the more they find, the more they might, the more they can make stick. Because right now they're in discovery, or they're in the time before discovery or whatever. Like this is like information gathering time, right?
Yeah, this is discovery before emotion.
Yeah, so if they find something else out, that could be mitigating circumstances, and then he might be facing something else. That's why I encourage anybody that has been affected physically or mentally by Michael Nowak to report his ass. If you are close to someone and they got him and they don't want to do it, encourage them to go. Now is the time.
I'm so happy you said that. I'm so happy you said that because I was just saying that earlier.
I've been running the NBC6 phone number. I called. It just so happened that when I called, I got the coordinator from the first story. So she was like, she told me basically what they need. I went live and told everybody, and that's why I've been on this. We did a 15-day countdown. We gonna watch this to the end, and hopefully we can make sure that he is not able to wiggle out of this, because this is not the first time he's done this. This is just the first time that the officials have even got a sniff of it.
Think about it like this: he's a convicted felon, so he's definitely He's a convicted felon. He's a one-time felon.
I ain't never found nothing. I've been looking.
I never found anything.
I found his daddy.
Say what? Are you talking about the cavity situation? Where he went on Vlad TV and said he went to jail for he didn't actually murder nobody, but he was there when the murder took place.
I don't believe him.
You know what? I found a story that is somewhat similar, but I kind of lost it in the shuffle because at first I didn't think it was him. But then when I found something else, I was like, well, maybe that was him. So I gotta find it, but it's just gonna take searching and digging.
Yeah, because they definitely have him as a one-time felon, and he also has like scamming cases in I think Alabama. Or something.
But they all like in limbo. Like the one in Alabama, the man that filed that, it was kicked back from the court, and they in the filing or whatever, they told him what to do to refile it. He didn't file it properly, but he passed. About 2 or 3 months ago, he had an asthma attack and passed. It's kind of funny how all this stuff happening around the same time. First, Crypto Roots kicked the bucket. Then, in between, Polight did this to this girl in February. In between, when did Crypto Roots die? I don't mean to put it
around
like
that time. He passed away like around that time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then Crypto Roots passed. And Lord, it's too much. This is entirely too much.
Too much. Since you said that they said that he was a one-time felon, who said that? The attorneys?
Yeah, they said that he was a one-time felon.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he's a one-time felon. He has a record. That's why she didn't want him. She was fighting.
I didn't hear that in the Zoom meeting this morning.
She said it pretty fast. She was like, he's a one-time felon. He's harassing our client. And he was like, oh, that's when they just cut her off when she spoke about the DNA and all that stuff. And then, like, they made her break it down again. So, like, she was trying to say what was going on with him in L.A., but something happened in L.A., too.
But, there was a case before his. And at first, I thought it was him.
Of 6 counts.
Hold on.
I, at this point, do not see that there are any
I know a plain white shirt.
This is entirely inappropriate. If, in fact, the state was seeking a promotion.
Okay. A plain white shirt and a yellow tie with no hat on. And he got his head bent, like he looking at something in his lap. Vespa. Yeah, but
that was you talking?
Say that again?
That was you talking?
Yeah, this is my life. I was on the Zoom meeting. Yeah, I'm just trying to get to the part where they started.
It's Atfield, ATL 1000. I'm pretty judge.
Hold on, we get some traction. Okay.
And nobody's supposed to show the Zoom meeting or something?
Yeah, it said no video, no screenshots.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people posted it.
To everybody. Anybody who enters the Zoom meeting, including media. But it didn't say nothing about audio though.
Don't.
Here we go.
It's Judge. I did not file a motion. So what happened in this case, Your Honor, is that this is a media case. He was arrested for punishable by life crimes. He should have been held no bond. However, this is one of those charges where the PBL comes in at the very end of the charge, and I think the clerk's office made an error, allowed him to bond out prior to seeing a bond appearance or prior to going to bond hearing. Somehow, I think he was given standard bond of $21,000, $10,000 on count 1 and count 2, and then $1,000 on count 3, Judge. My issue, Judge, is that there's no stay away order on the case yet. That's why Your Honor asked the defendant to be present. I also am very concerned that the defendant has been essentially terrorizing the victim. I mean, the victim's 14 years old, and there's been a lot of...
Since the arrest?
He has been since the arrest, Judge. He's been very communicative. It's been very vocal on social media. There's been videos of the victim drugged by this defendant leaked online.
Pause it a second.
Yeah.
What did the judge go? Oh, who was that?
That was me in the background.
I was dying laughing at you when you did that. When you made that voice, I was like, oh.
I was like, was that the judge? Oh.
But did you hear in the beginning? Did you hear in the beginning when she said he has priors?
That wasn't what she said. I'll
in the
pull
beginning,
it back.
Yeah, because I believe she said he has priors.
No, she didn't.
What did she say in the beginning?
Hold on.
This is one of those charges where the PBL comes in at the very end of the
She
charge.
said that he had lifetime offender charges. Not lifetime offender.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing it on my phone, so it's kind of hard to go back and forth.
Like, open up that PDF.
No, that's fine.
The second page, up towards the top of the second page.
Okay.
For punishable by life crimes, he should have been held no bond. However, this is
okay. She said those are 2 punishable by life crimes, and he should have been held with no bond.
Yeah.
But she didn't say he was prior offender.
Okay. My bad.
Comes in at the very end of the charge.
And then everybody's wondering why he got out in the first place. It's exactly like Tasha K said it was. It was a clerical error. Somewhere between them filing it, but with them filing it with the clerk and the clerk actually filing it in the system, they didn't put it in correctly. And that's why he got out on such a low bond in the first place. But technically, he wasn't supposed to be bonded out anyway, because those are, what did I say it was?
Lifetime.
Lifetime offender charges. Those are life of charges, meaning up to life in prison.
I'm gonna tell you why he was supposed to get out. He was supposed to get out so he can go on social media and fuck up his case even more. Excuse me, y'all.
The Lord is at work. Hey, look, we sent positive energy to the prosecutor and the judge this morning.
Get him.
How convenient was that? It was a clerical error, right?
That wasn't no clerical error.
He got the devil's luck, or it's some Polight supporter that work in the Miami-Dade County Clerk office somewhere.
It was time for him to be, when God get in your butt, he get you worse than anybody else could ever get.
Y'all want to finish it out? Because it ain't but about 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
They was not in there long at all.
Bond appearance, or prior to going to bond hearing, somehow I think he was given standard bond of $21,000, $10,000 on count 1 and count 2, and then $1,000 on count 3, Judge. My issue, Judge, is that there's no stay-away order on the case yet. That's why Your Honor asked the defendant to be present. I also am very concerned that the defendant has been essentially terrorizing the victim. I mean, the victim's 14 years old. And there's been a lot of
since the arrest.
Since the arrest, Judge, he's been very communicative on. He's been very vocal on social media. There's been videos of the victim drugged by this defendant leaked online. Your Honor, on this case, we do have DNA showing that the defendant's sperm was on the victim's clothing.
Your Honor, may I ask why any of this is appropriate, considering no motion has been filed?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't like being ambushed with all of this. This is
nor do I, Your Honor. This is entirely inappropriate.
If in fact the state was seeking a motion for pretrial detention, they should have done it. I mean,
that's when David started getting indignant. Hey, buddy, you're not gonna railroad my client.
The stay-away order is concerned, I can certainly do that, but I just can't go ahead with allegations from the state without giving notice to the defense. I mean, certainly I would hear it, but I can't do this in a vacuum like this. So the only thing that I know that
Hold on, Angelica just jumped in the chat. She said interference of custody is the other charge. Okay, so they ain't going with kidnapping, they're going with interference of custody. Gotcha.
Advised to me the last time is that the stay-away order was not properly presented, and I'm ready and able to do that at this time.
Judge, you are the first appearance, Judge, regarding the information that was filed, Judge. He was charged with a total of 6 counts, Judge, and they're different. They're all different from the charges.
Those 6 counts are not including the 2 no actions. So those are 5 felonies and then 1 misdemeanor.
Again, Your Honor, excuse me, I have to interrupt. This is entirely.
Hold on. Yeah, Mr. Terrace, hold on. Let her finish. Just let her finish. I'll allow you to make your argument. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. He has been charged with 6 counts. One of them is the same, but there's 5 additional counts, Your Honor. Your Honor does have to set bond on those counts. So, and then the state lawyer has to set.
She said there's 6 counts, 2 of the same count, and 5 additional charge. Oh, so she including the misdemeanor.
I will be filing a motion to respond. And I understand that Your Honor does not want to be ambushed. I will file that at a later time, but I did want to put the court on notice that with regards to the other bond counts.
All right.
So we definitely have to address bond.
Okay, now, did you have a response, Mr. Terrace, and then I will deal with the information.
Yes, Your Honor. We don't.
Can I say something right quick?
Yeah.
This right here, like, show that the judge already has his mind made up in a way as to what he's going to do, but he has to do due process.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
also, this is why I believe what you said is so important. Everybody who has been affected by him, or so you know somebody who's been affected by him, needs to call up to Miami-Dade and just drop a message, or just give them information on what you've been through. First of all, what struck me was when she said he's harassing her and stuff like that on social media. He has videos threatening people online.
Yep.
And he said if you heard him at the end, if there's anything that's showing that you are doing this, he will be held in contempt without bond. And she has proof.
Yep.
So we don't know which way this is gonna go. He might not even be able to do a bond if she shows the proof.
Yeah, but she got to go back through some of those charges. The judge hasn't been able to go through yet, from what I understand, and because she did file them late in the day, but that was on Wednesday, and this is from Friday. This is from today. So, I'm like, said it was improperly filed. So the DA put the paperwork in, and the county clerk's office improperly filed it. So now the DA has to go back and refile stuff in order to get any progress. And David is fighting that tooth and nail. We got about 4-5 more minutes.
The state, our side certainly did not ask for a schedule of bond. That was something that the state of Florida decided to place on this case. Those charges were higher charges, and they were downfall. Doesn't matter that there was more charges that were listed on the information. These are downfile charges. Mr. Nowak is out on constitutional bond. There's no motion pending before this court, and there's no need for Ms. Garcia to just ambush us with additional information that she feels the court and the media in her speak should hear. So we are entirely prepared to address the motion that's before us. Another word needs to be said regarding a motion that's not pending before this court. We do and are prepared to address the no contact situation today.
Okay. Now, first things first. First thing I have is an information that's been given to me by the clerk that was filed on September 14th, which was 3 days ago. And again, I have many cases on my calendar. Has this defendant been arraigned on this information?
He has, Your Honor.
Judge.
He has. Okay, so he has been arraigned. And I am looking at, there are a total of 6 counts. I, at this point, do not see that there are any non-bondable offenses. And there appears to be a second-degree felony for count 1, second-degree felony count 2. 3 is also second-degree, 4 second-degree, 5 is a first-degree misdemeanor, and 6 is a third-degree felony. So, have all of the bonds been addressed at the time of the arraignment?
That third-degree felony is the interference of
Okay,
custody.
well, that's what we need to do as far as that is concerned. And I will. What was he out on previously? Let's just start with that.
He was out on count 1 and count 2 for $10,000 each, and then count 3 on the information was a misdemeanor, so that was $1,000. So right now he has a total of $21,000 bond.
Okay, so 1 and 2. So what was added in the information?
So the counts 1 through 4 are all second-degree felonies. Those were not on the information on the.
Were not originally charged?
Correct. Also, Judge, count 6 is interference of custody. That one also was not charged. Count 5 was charged as count number 3 on the arrest. So that one should stay at $1,000.
So then what was the original 10,000? If you're saying that 1 through 4 was not charged, and then 6 was not charged, then what was the original charges where you got the two $10,000 and then $1,000?
So the original charges was count 1 was engaging in sexual activity with a child in familiar custodial authority. That was actually a PBL, but that charge, when it's input into the arrest form, it looks like an F1. So on that count, he was given 10,000.
Hold on. What's a PDL? Does anybody know?
I can look it up for you right now.
Okay. What was that thing she said at the beginning? The charge was a... I'm running on low speed. Go ahead, keep playing while she look that up. Let me know when you find it.
Then on count 2, it's sexual battery of a victim 12 to 17 years of age. That's an F1. That was another $10,000 bond. And then count 3 is count 5 on the information.
Okay.
Okay, so he wasn't supposed to get out. The PDL is a pendente lite hearing, so the judge can hear all the facts in the case and make temporary orders that will stay in effect until the final trial or a settlement. Okay, so he was supposed to go to another hearing, and instead of them filing it like that, they just filed another first-class misdemeanor, and that's how he got out on the 18th.
Right. So as it relates to the new information, the court is going to, on count 1,
thank you,
defendant will be given a bond of $10,000. On count 2, defendant will be given a bond of $10,000. On count 3, defendant will be given a bond of $10,000.
It's $30,000.
On count 4, defendant will be given a bond of $10,000.
$40,000.
On count 5, that will be a $1,000. And count 6
41.
will be $5,000 bond.
46.
Does corrections have that?
So that's $4,600.
Okay. So he is going to need to post those additional amounts. If it was 21,000 originally, it's now going to be $46,000 additional bond. That's as to that issue. Anything further on that issue, and then we're going to get to the stay away order.
So, Judge, I do think it's important to note that he is a California resident. So I would ask that Your Honor consider that when setting the bonds. Are these standard bonds, Judge?
I do not know what is considered a standard bond on these, but these are the bonds that the court's going to be giving.
Okay. So, no, Judge, I'll be filing a motion to increase bond due to the facts of the case. The other, in addition to the bond, Judge, it's just a stay away, right?
Understood. All right. Anything further from the defense as to the bonds for right now?
Yeah, I don't see that the state has laid any grounds for why the bond amount should be increased. We
Well,
believe
we're not there yet. We're not there yet. There's no discussion right now. That's not what's before the court. The court just is setting bonds on the new counts.
these counts are down some, but I just want to make that clear on the record, even though there's more.
Understood.
So the entire, but we would object to the entire bond amount increasing, considering these are down file charges.
Your objection is noted.
Other than that, no.
All right. As it relates to the stay away order, okay. So apparently these are minors. If I can have the defendant sworn.
Mr. Nowak, can you unmute yourself?
Oh, Lord.
Raise your right hand.
Yeah, I'm being gonna get oratory, yeah.
Well, I'm just what are you about to give in the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the
Yes, Sonny, you caught that too?
Okay, sir, you can put your arm down. Can you tell me your full name and your date of birth?
Michael Eugene Note Jr., born August 10th, 1980.
All right, thank you, sir.
You
Right, so you are currently charged under case F21 14438 with several counts involving a minor victim. And the minor victim is identified as T like Thomas, S like Sam. Do you know who that is?
Yes, sir.
All right. Sir, you are ordered that you can have no contact with TS. And when I say no contact, that means no direct contact or indirect contact. Indirect contact includes you cannot communicate with this individual via social media. You cannot call. You cannot text. You cannot reach out to this individual or in some way attempt to communicate through a third person. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, I do.
All right. Now, I will just advise you and admonish you. This means what it says. I do not know whether or not you were given any type of a stay-away order, but as of right now, this stay-away order is in effect, in that if you violate any terms of this stay-away order, that may be grounds for your bond status, your pretrial release status to be revoked, and you will be immediately taken into custody. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Anything further on that issue from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Anything further from that issue from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right. That is all that the court has before me. Are we done? Ms. Garcia?
I believe so, Judge. I just want the defendant to be aware that he should not be posting any social media posts or anything about this case, about the victim in this case. I know that there was a video of the victim leaked on social media. I'm concerned about the victim's, well-being regarding this case. So I just want to make sure the defendant's well aware that if that happens, we will be filing the appropriate motions to avoid that happening.
All right. Well, just so it's clear. Yeah, just so it's clear. I just want both sides to know allegations are allegations. I certainly will respond to some type of evidence shown to the court that the defendant has somehow violated the court's order. Let me hear from the defense.
Judge, I just want to make clear for the record as well that this arrest, Mr. Nowak has been compliant and has known about this investigation for far before his arrest, has come down and voluntarily submitted 2 warrants along the way because he has nothing to hide. Any allegations that the state is making about
he said involuntarily submitted 2 warrants because he has nothing to hide. Exactly, Ramon.
He might have been tampering or attempting to scare the alleged victim via social media. There's no order saying that he is not allowed to use social media. And I also would like to make clear that it took the state till 4:56 p.m. on the night before the arraignment to file an information here, and a reduced one. They were so scared. They had ample opportunity to file a motion. Meanwhile, they failed to do so. So I don't believe that Your Honor has taken into consideration any of the arguments that they put forth regarding why they believe bonds should be increased, because that's been appropriate.
We're not there. I'm not even entertaining it. So let's not even. I don't even want to hear anything about it because nothing's before me as to an increase.
Well, Your Honor has the ability to set the additional counts at ROR.
Well, I'm not. Based upon the only thing I have in front of me is an information. That's what I've decided as far as the bond is concerned. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Well, we would object to Your Honor taking into consideration any of the statements made by Ms. Garcia in reaching that determination.
Okay. Now, however, I do need to just advise Mr. Nowak, based upon some of the arguments. I don't know what is out there that has been posted, but I will advise Mr. Nowak that if in fact there is evidence shown to the court that you have somehow been responsible for submitting some type of social media involving this victim, you may have a First Amendment right, but it is limited. And if the state can show that this was done with some type of intent to either harass or intimidate a witness, that's serious. So just keep that in mind. You certainly have a First Amendment right, but if you do something that in somehow is intended to intimidate this witness, then the court will listen to what the allegations are and what evidence the state has presented. I think that can be the last word on this matter. I have a December 3rd report date. What is that on for?
I believe that was just for the status, Your Honor, case disposition, regular.
Okay.
Course.
All right. As of right now, that's the next date we have on this case. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Judge.
Did you see how he said, how the judge said, like if the lady has proof of anything of him harassing or intimidating any witnesses, that he can be held against him, it'll be held against him. And that video that he put out, that video he put out threatening everybody and saying all type of stuff. Now I'm going to do this and that. He has too much.
Somebody needs to timestamp that and send it to the DA, maybe.
Yeah,
but that being said, do not, people watching this now and people that watch this in the days upcoming, don't call the DA with what you heard somebody say. If you don't have some type of proof like Polight saying it out of his mouth in a continuous video or receipts, not doctored, stuff like that, don't call them people with theories and assumptions and nothing like that. Only call them with facts. Because if you call them,
mail over that video that he put up. They should
that video last night. He said,
evidence.
How do you not know? How do y'all not know I'm the victim? I know, right, Empress? I hope he enjoyed that popcorn. You know what? He was sitting up there trying to think of something to do with his hands, and he grabbed that popcorn. And then when they was like, why you eating theater popcorn? Oh, I always say theater popcorn tastes best outside of the theater. Who does that? When popcorn out in the air too long, it's stale. Popcorn is one of the fastest things to go stale ever in life, and ain't no AMC bag gonna protect it.
It was a defense mechanism.
Yeah. Total deflection.
Like a nervous tick.
Then last night, we went back over that live he did the night before, and we was listening to it, and he said, yeah, y'all act like y'all know more than the folk do. Yeah, y'all talking about I got all kind of cases and stuff. I ain't got no cases, because technically he don't. See, Sinetta said when this first came out that this was his wife's relative. He never said anything about the police. But when everybody confronted him after August 18th of this year, all of a sudden, it's his wife's cousin's sister. Mescanet and Renintet have the same mother and the same father. So that would make Renintet, who was the girl that Sinetta was talking about, Sinetta's wife's cousin. See, he's trying to put degrees of separation between him and what's going on. But anybody that's been around for any length of time can spot the difference between what he said then and what he said now. Yeah, they all need to shut up, but they're not going to. They're not going. Have they shut up this far? Have they shut up this far? Look, they ain't for nobody's best interest, not even their own.
The thing is the moment that everybody has a video of him saying what he said the first time. So that's that. And number two, um, he was like, oh, in that video, oh, I'm gonna sue. I got $100,000 on stash. This is that. He's like, and I think he's actually talking to the victim too, indirectly, trying to intimidate her, because he knows he can't directly talk to her, so he's gonna act like he's talking to other people, but he's really trying to intimidate her.
The other thing is, for all these sovereign citizenship packages, Polight is sold through New Covenant, and we didn't get one glimpse of him trying to possess the court or none of that other kind of bullcrap. Even Prince York went in there trying to stand on the principles of sovereign citizenship, and we see how that ended for him. I was ready for Polight to be a lockup for 35 days because he wouldn't tell them, because he wouldn't say his name. I was ready, but he was quiet as a lamb going to slaughter when that judge said, "State your name for the record, Michael Eugene Nowak Jr." The spell that Polight them have on y'all hasn't been washed off yet. I cannot. This is pure comedy and a tragedy at the same damn time.
He said, "Yes, Your Honor."
You didn't catch that he was so low and just looking so humble in his little shiny suit that he borrowed from Floyd. Floyd, I need one of your good suits this time. I gotta go to court, homie. $46,000 bond right now. But see, I think that's why those two charges say on what you call it. You know what I'm talking about. No action. I'm running low on sleep right now. But that's why those two charges say no action, I think, because there was no action on them in court today. Comedic tragedy. Yes, Rasta.
Man, that man funny.
From what I read, no action means that they decided not to file the charge.
Yeah, but Empire Esquire spoke on that. It's kind of like they in limbo. They haven't dropped them. But I think that's because if I listen to that correctly, that's why after I get a good night's sleep, I'm gonna listen to it again. If I'm listening to it correctly and it's connecting how it's supposed to, what happened was he was supposed to have another hearing instead of being let out on bond that first time. So then, because the clerk office messed up filing the stuff, that's what she was talking about. The PDL got filed as a first degree felony. So when they filed it, they were supposed to file it PDL, but instead they just put in the first degree felony, which allowed him to bond out instead of being held, so that they could argue the other charges and put the stay away order in place.
That hat, they do have a lot of consignment stores. Who's to say he didn't pick up a lot of that stuff?
That's what I said. If you can go right off of Rodeo Drive and it's a consignment store right there, and you can, because these people, some people have a closet full of stuff that they ain't worn. They just change their wardrobes out because it's a different season. And they take that stuff right to the consignment store, because you know what? When you take that stuff in, you can get your money back. Oh, maybe Floyd didn't give him them clothes. Maybe Floyd told him to take them clothes to the consignment store, and Polight just kept them for himself.
Did you guys see what PDL means?
Yeah,
I have it in the private chat.
You have it in the private chat? Hold on.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you posted it.
So the judge can hear all the facts in the case and make temporary orders that will stay in effect until the final trial or a settlement. He wasn't supposed to be let go because he had another hearing. But instead of them filing that PDL, they put the first degree felony in there. Because one of those, the one first degree felony is a lifetime sentence if he's convicted. So they had to go in and argue that and put the stay in order in place. I keep saying stay in order, stay away. I'm just going to say restraining order. The restraining order in place, the Florida restraining order in place. And then they was going to set the bond then. So they had to go back, and that was what the court date on the 15th was for. But she didn't file them papers until I think either she was just stacked down and it took her that long to file them, and she was trying to get them in before the court date, or she was looking for something, trying to buy time until she can find it, because now they got to do another hearing for the bond increase, and then the discovery isn't until December.
They might pick him up tonight.
Hopefully, because for something like this, all they got to do is put out the warrant. I'm quite sure LAPD will be quite happy to pick him up. And then, okay, everybody running around talking about he got charges, right? This is why I say he does it, because he been running around telling that story for years that don't make no sense about him being called Cavity. I ain't never heard of no Crip being called Cavity. That's just, But besides that, last night on that live while he was chopping on that popcorn, he said, ain't no charges. I ain't got no cases. He told on himself. He's so shook, he's sitting up here telling stuff. While he's sitting up here thinking he coming on to intimidate people. Nah, just keep right on running them motorboats.
Do you not realize how God works? Let me tell you
Don't you know? I mean, let
me tell you how he works. He had Polight build his own case against him. When you go on his social medias, on his YouTube, anything, he's incriminating himself. Yep. From the time he was talking about Dr. York and how he would still follow him after, even if he was found guilty of molesting 100 or whatever amount of kids. He always talked about in the Bible that they said rape is okay. He was just so fascinated about that. He always, like, that the whole thing with Renette, they told that story back in the day, and it's still on YouTube. People got those things. Like, I'm telling you,
and everybody is refreshing this stuff. Let's keep mirroring these channels, so if we make the prosecutor's job easy. I might just make one call. Hey, Nicole, look at this.
She watching. If she went in on his being on social media, she definitely watching. Because if she looking for anything to support her case, she's definitely looking. She's like, yeah, I know he's arrogant, he's stupid, he gonna slip up.
Yep. And the DA has a relationship with the news and the police, and because they all have to work together. If the police need some information held back, they're gonna need, support from the news to do that and stuff. So if you slip the news something and they think that it's worth a look from the DA or the investigators, they'll go right on ahead and slide it to them. That's how you keep from overwhelming the police department and the DA, because they do have more than one case to try. But the news can do whatever the flip they want.
And the people that have been scammed by him can actually contact the local media down there,
and the coordinator
let them do interviews.
Yes, the coordinator from the news, from the coordinator from NBC6 Miami said that if you have the proof, they will bring you on for an interview.
Most of these people, I don't know how people were sending.
He's not, but that's where the incident occurred at. So that's where he finna get tried at.
They had to pull up their PayPal receipts and everything. But with PayPal, you could always have the money sent back to you. So that's why they want to do this Cash App thing. But eventually, Cash App is going to be able to send
the same thing PayPal did, because they got tired of folk sending up their trashing about it.
Yeah. Oh well.
He's not even a Florida resident. It don't matter where you commit the crime, is where you do the time. Just like Ted Bundy, it seemed like he just wanted to get caught and punished. Ted Bundy escaped from prison and ran to Florida. Florida's one of the only states that still had the death penalty at the time. And he proceeded to go on a massacre through a sorority house in Tallahassee, Florida. And he ended up getting the death penalty. Florida ain't the place where you want to go committing serious crimes like that, Because not only are you gonna go do day for day, they don't play down there in the jail nor the prison. You gonna be somebody little pudding pop in the prison because you don't weigh but about 135 pounds soaking wet. Eugene, what was you thinking?
You right, Remal. And she brought that up. She's like, man, he has semen, his semen on that child.
Yeah,
okay?
Somebody in the chat earlier said it was on the mama bonnet. Said somebody had said it was on the mama bonnet, and that's how it got on the child. I say, you know what? I can't with these people. You'll sit up here and distort your reality to sit up here and make it some kind of way where Polight didn't do this. Just face reality. He did it.
It would have
According
shown
to the Miami-Dade Police Department.
It would have shown. It would have been something else in the test if she transferred it from.
And then Empire Esquire spoke on that after they had first came out talking about, yeah, they say the girl was mad, the mama clothes and the sperm was on the clothes. What mother would give her daughter some clothes to wear that she had spooged on? First, that's nasty.
Got a problem. They must
that part
living dream
but
world.
She said that when they do those rape kit tests, it's some kind of thing. It's called something transference, where they can see if the person was actually wearing the clothing when the incident occurred or whatever. I guess it's like skin cell transference. But she said they do those types of tests when they do the DNA test, so people can't come and say silly stuff like this.
Honey, like she found some wet sperm and she was able to transport wet sperm onto the child's sweater. Really? What did he ejaculate in a cup?
No, they saying the mama was with Polight and it got on it there, and then the mama took her clothes off and put them on the child.
Right, so it stayed wet on her clothes where she could lift it off her clothes and put it on the. Shut the fuck up. Excuse me.
Girl, the shit people come up with to keep from facing the truth.
Girl, ain't that the truth?
But you know what? I ain't surprised because there's still mofos around here caping for York. And he in jail for 135 years. Supermax. Under the jail. Ain't never getting out.
Let's not even talk about the pastors that pray. Prey. That's been doing it. And people still sitting
Not my pastor.
Knowing they pastor did it.
I'm tired of people telling me the Lord said, touch not my anointed. I ain't seen the Lord come down nan time and anoint nan one of these mofos.
That's because they misinterpret the whole meaning. The anointing means somebody that's a messenger. Somebody that's all it means. It ain't no special gift from God that make you super powerful than anybody else. Shut up and sit down. You're a human being like the rest of us. All of that touch not my anointed. Okay, what does anointed mean? Messenger.
Yeah, and you know
somebody
what?
Who spoke for God.
Eddie Long said, I got 5 rocks and I ain't thrown one yet. And we see where he at now.
In the 5 rock under 5 feet under 5 rocks.
Exactly.
Honey, all of these lies.
It is a liathon around this joint. That's why I'm on my Polight junkie. I'm gonna get y'all to believe the truth, even after I beat it through y'all damn heads. Eugene.
Man. Look, that's what he is. It's all coming out. I wouldn't even be playing in the age of Aquarius. This is the age of Aquarius where everything you have done or doing will come out. Everything. All these rape cases, everything that people been doing 30, 40, 50, 600 years ago. Look, if Jesus spit on the ground, it came out this year, okay? Jesus spat on the damn ground.
His mighty sandal finally touched down on earth. I've been trying to tell him. I tried to tell y'all, but y'all didn't want to listen. I told Sinetta 4 years ago on November 17th of this year. Let me see, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, 4 years ago on November 17th. I told him, to basically change his ways. You know, this is gonna come to no good to you. And here we are 4 years later. And Lima Bean is currently facing 5 felonies.
Well, see, also Sonetta is also in fear of the fact that he doesn't have anything saved up.
Yep.
He did not.
That's what that supposed legal fund is for. Talking about he gonna sue Tasha K for calling him a crackhead. They've been calling you the West Side Dusthead for longer than YouTube been around, but you gonna sue Tasha K? Okay, I believe that. Nah,
He didn't work anywhere to get Social Security or pension, and even if he did have Social Security, it ends in 2034. So he doesn't have anything that's
saved
going
up. Cynthia they kicked him out. Nepal ain't working out. You know, it's a mess. It's a mess. He needs some money.
Yes, that's why he's in panic mode.
And let's not forget. let's not forget Sonetta in the case of the kicked off bumper.
He's overreacting because he's becoming desperate and realizing he can't go work at Walmart no more. You know, they don't do the welcome to Walmart with
Walmart. We used to love the little Walmart greeting in my hometown. He was so loud. Welcome to Walmart. You're like, hey, how you doing? You like, oh, here go this dude again.
You know, and the information that the HOK community brought, it had its time, it had its season. It's all regurgitated now. We all know now. Everybody, we all know. Thank you for the history lesson. We know who we are. We gods.
We all his YouTube
next.
Gator shoes and tricking off.
You know, if anything, he should start talking about what we're going to do when Social Security runs out. What are we going to do when the robots start taking over? What are we going to do about this cryptocurrency? What is cryptocurrency? How can we invest in it? Take us into the next level. The next level. What's actually going on in the world? All of this talking about King Tut did this and King Tut did that. Tell me how King Tut got his money.
Every time somebody calls Sonetta on his BS, he pull out that picture of Khalid Muhammad. Like when this shit really hit the fan, here come that picture. He pulled it out last night. I said, oh, it's a done daughter.
And we over that. This generation, we over that. Look at here, we don't care about Jesse Jackson. So Sonetta,
look, the leader of the movement got shot down, and everybody else was like, "Oh well, let's go home." So yeah, we ain't with that.
And what movement? Where are you moving to? What are you moving in? You don't even understand that the robots. Look, Tesla said we got the Tesla robot coming out next year to do everything, all the jobs you don't want to do.
Yeah, but they ain't perfected that damn car yet. Didn't one run into the back of a semi and blow up the other day or some shit?
Man, they better eat, whether they blowing up or not. Them people blowing up with their money. I bet you that. And we still down here having stupid fights with no money in our pockets, talking about we gods.
So I said, the way to help is to teach people, teach them financial literacy. Oh, that's a scam. I said, I ain't say nothing about selling nobody no package. Teaching somebody financial literacy is teaching them how to manage their money. Teaching them how to set their children up for success before they walk out of the door when they turn 18 or whenever they feel the need, the urge to push on. When you feel the nerve to boot them out, however the case may be.
And if you know that we're going into the age of this whole like infrastructure bill, let's get on the Democrats, Republican, all of that. The infrastructure bill that they kept pushing, what we should have been saying is, what is this infrastructure bill? What are you talking about? We never bothered to ask these people or find out what they're doing. That is a bill to pay for the electric cars and pay for the chips that go in electric cars, which is going to monitor everything we do. He talking about we working on the roads and the Amtrak. They're putting in all the electrical equipment to keep track of everybody in these electrical cars. They're putting up charging stations. Now, what can we do? We can sit here and hate and cry, or we can find out what companies are creating these products and invest in them. Flip your money. Ain't no need to being mad and angry. Oh, they doing this, they doing that. Find out how you can get some money out of it.
Get your children started early in the STEM programs. And that way, once they get out of school, invest a little bit of money for your children. By the time they get out of school or while they're going to school, they don't even have to go to college for this. I'm telling you, as a tech person, you can go out and get certifications. All you have to do is go in, pay the money to take the test. Just have your child. Most kids get a part-time job during high school, have them put some of their money back so they'll have it for when they feel like they're confident enough, they go out and take the certifications. Go out and they done took away things like being a candy striper. Remember, you could be a candy striper back in the day to earn credits for school or earn credits for college or whatever. Things like that they took away from the community. They don't do those things anymore, but those things prepare people for life. Like they had back in the day, they had classes for people that weren't going to go on to college, and they used that system. That there was nothing wrong with the thought of the system, but the way that the system was implemented was implemented on racial lines.
Well,
Not
there are
on
free
what would
coding
be the
classes
best
now.
fit.
There
for
are
the
free
person.
workshops on blockchain.
Yeah.
There is
All
information
of these,
out there that people can have now
yeah,
for free or low
you can take
pay at a
you can
workshop
take
or something. Hold on, sis.
Mhm.
So there are things that people can do today to learn and keep up with what's going on today. Just like right now, they got ways where people can get paid every day instead of waiting on their paycheck. Find out what companies those are and invest in those companies because they get ready to get paid because people want their money today.
Yeah. And also you can go to school online for free basically. You just won't get the certification for it. Yale has free classes, Harvard has free classes. Most major universities and colleges already had free classes before the pandemic, but they've tightened up their online stuff so they have more stuff now. If you do want certification for that class, you have to pay a fee to get the certificate, but you already have the knowledge if you don't need the certificate.
It's so many ways to make money. Like they got the
Even
ATMs
on
now. You can have your own get vending machines, ATMs. It's ways to make money all over the place.
Yeah.
People have to expand their mind and overcome their own fears. You have nothing to lose but money. Get some more. That's all. Get some more.
There
No,
are
there's always money out there.
there are online websites where you can, if you have like a specialty, they people put in for people to do freelance work for them, and they pay you by the job. Depending on what type of job it is, depends on what you get paid. But when you sign up, you put in your specialties and what you can and cannot do. If you speak different languages, you would put that on there. That's another thing you can do. Teach little Asian kids how to speak English. They pay $25 an hour for that. And you pretty much make your own hours.
And the stock that you buy today, you can actually pass that from generation to generation to generation. You don't have to, that stock does not have to sell when you die. Whatever new company, like what's that, Robin Hood, or I don't do with Robin Hood, but anybody else, they want to do Robin Hood or something.
Acorn,
You bought Robin Hood for say $30 today, and say it goes up to $600 by the time you die, and you pass that on to your child, and they pass it on to their child. That's how you build generational wealth. We want to sell everything now, and pay attention. If you get 401k, pay attention to what stocks is invested in. You have to pay attention. Don't just think like, oh, they'll take care of it for me. Oh, they'll take care of it for me. I'm not worried about it. No, you're lazy and you don't want to go look up the information yourself. And that's why they rip you off. Nobody ripping you off because they are who they are. But you are what you are if you lazy and you didn't go figure out what you need to do with your money. People just have to stop and invest in yourself. Open up these books. Go read the old books on investing or whatever. The same books these people been reading over and over and over and over for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. It's only a book. Stop being a part of that 99% that don't read books when they leave high school. Stop being a part of that group. Be a part of the 1%. You want to be on top, then you got to think like the 1%. You got to tell yourself every day, I got a millionaire mind. My mind is made just like a millionaire. Over and over. Tell yourself, reprogram your mind. You want to be a God, exercise your God by reprogramming your mind. Too many broke minds out there. Don't tell me you can't buy Bitcoin, but you bought a $2.50 soda. Fall back. Don't tell me you can't afford Bitcoin, but you ain't got your nails and hair done. You couldn't hold back like, oh, let me get my hair done next month because this month I'm invested in myself and in my future and my children. But you had to have your hair done. You had to have your nails done. And in 10 years from now, nobody cares that your nails was done. You look good for 5 minutes. You're going to look real poor in 20 years when you don't have no money. But you bought that $2.50 soda, that bag of chips. You could have put $1 away. 365 days in a year, put $1 away a day. Come on. That's how Polight and people like Polight and pastors and governments and can get over on the people because they know this is how they think. Broke people. And they figure out how to get your money.
That's why he say he too smart to be broke. He done figured out how to get it without working, scamming people.
But they scam themselves. If you gave them your money,
like I said, some of them don't know no better. That's why teaching people these tools is key.
If you don't know enough to manage your own money, then you need to get you a guardian. That means there's something wrong with you.
Some people walking around here do need a guardian.
So if you need a guardian, then I'll give you a pass. But if you, Mr. I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna buy. I'm a Polight the man. Blah blah blah. No, you just retarded on your own. That ain't had nothing to do with God. You just stupid. So you deserve to be scammed because you didn't listen. You followed the flash. You fell into the pimping. So you got exactly what you wanted. Birds of a feather flock together. When they do the whole I got scammed out of the UCC and sovereign da. Well, you was trying to scam the government and you got scammed. You had a mindset of a scammer and you got scammed. What can I say? That was your mindset.
Get rich quick. I ain't work for too many people unless you hit the lotto.
And most of them end up in bankruptcy.
Or harassed to death.
Man, that's why
remember that guy that won the lottery in Texas and his daughter or granddaughter or something, they found her dead in the all kind of stuff happened to him after he won the lottery.
Not surprised. Most of the people that their wealth lasts for years and years and generation after generation, they don't do fast money. They let their money grow slowly. They watch that stock market build and build and build slowly. They don't want it. They don't want it right now because they want it to last. While you want it right now, just as fast as you got it, the fastest it's going to go. That's just nature. All of this laws of Tahuti and the laws of this and the laws of that. You understand that if it come fast, it go fast. That's the difference between if you into doing the spells and burning it on a candle or burying it in the ground. When you bury something in the ground, it takes a while to grow, but it does grow at its own pace and it lasts longer. If you burn it in the fire, it come fast, but it go fast. Yep. That's understanding the science of your wishes, your dreams, your incantations, whatever, your prayers. You got to understand the science of it.
They around here selling people the Reader's Digest version of the 42 Laws of Power.
If you still buying books and all these PDFs online, please, I wish I would.
For free, archive.org got everything that ain't copyright protected and some stuff that is, but you can borrow it for 14 days. If you want to go read some esoteric stuff, there's the ancientarchive.org. They got all that stuff in one easy place to locate. What else? Like I said before, if you and a lot of your friends like to read, get an ebook service like Scrib, because you know what? When you sign somebody up, they get 2 months and you get 1 month for free. So hey, if everybody sign up, I got Scrib, I got Kindle too. Because what Scrib doesn't have, Kindle does, and anything else you're gonna be buying it on Amazon. And pray to God that you don't have to buy a collector's edition.
And read the book. Did you hear what I said? Let me say that again. Read the book. All these
Reading
book
is
collectors ain't
fundamental,
reading nothing.
but comprehension is key. And I think that's where the hiccup is.
That too.
Just because you can say the words doesn't mean that you know what they mean. And like, let me use an example: cyber defamation litigation.
You know, when I first picked up the meta-netter and I started reading, I said, wait a minute now.
I looked at the front and said,
no. When I started reading that first chapter, I said, obviously the people that have been promoting this has not read it. I noticed people. I was like, wait a minute, this. Obviously, you didn't read it because clearly it says this, but you're doing the opposite. What?
Comprehension once again. You know, everybody can't speed read.
And then you have to ask, why are they reading it? It's just like when people go to the Bible and they say, oh, it says homosexuality is an abomination. I say, listen, are you gay? Do you deal with gay people? No.
Why are you worried about it?
You're right. Why did you go to the scripture?
When you stand before whatever deity you stand before on judge, whichever one you believe in on Judgment Day, is he gonna ask you about Henry down the street?
Right.
No. He gonna ask you about you.
You're supposed to be reading it to empower yourself and better yourself, transform yourself. But you trying to find fault with somebody else. And a lot of these HOK people read these books so they can throw snot and dirt at each other.
And have no comprehension of what they be talking about. Now, before anybody come for me saying, well, why don't you follow what you say? And why you messing with Polight? Because what is that old saying? In order for evil to flourish, all it takes is for good men to do nothing. Men, in this case, being humanity. If you stand by and you watch evil take place and you do nothing, you are part of the issue because you're not standing up for what is right.
Did they attack Trump when they disagree with him, or Obama when they disagree with him? Okay, so they can talk about Obama, Trump, and all of them. They're human beings too, but we can't talk about Polight.
I know, right?
Because if this was the people versus Trump, it wouldn't be no problem, right?
No whatsoever.
Human being is a human being. I don't care all these alien talk and blah blah blah. Sorry, my mother didn't raise me to be that stupid. But anyhow, no offense.
You don't want no ticket. You don't want no ticket on the good ship Nibiru to go to Risk.
Look, until I see an alien knock at my door, I'm not going into that hocus pocus of so and so wrote it in the book. Okay, well, when it knocks at my
got
door,
the keys and the tickets.
What does it say? I started with a track phone and $20 tree signs. Now I own 9 properties. All right, Gary Hawkins.
Dollar Tree signs. $20 worth of Dollar Tree signs.
Hey, get that money. You got to build your dream.
Mm-hmm.
We want this fast money so that, don't
a dream always stays a dream if you don't try to make it reality.
All of this stimulus talk before this whole situation started, all these posts on Facebook all over the place. If we take $8, if we put $1, if we put it all together, we could. Well, all you had all this stimulus money, unemployment money, this money. How come y'all ain't put nothing together and did nothing? Shut up! I don't even hear
it. My cousin even more shout out than I am. The other day he put on Facebook. He said all these folk that were flipping this money, putting in 100 and getting $5,000 back. Y'all ain't rich yet. Say I ain't seen y'all say nothing else since then.
Putting all that money in Doge coins.
Talking other people into doing it. I had one of them jump in my inbox. You scared money don't make no money. My money ain't scared. I just don't need to flip it like that.
That's peace, Gary Hawkins, that you did it for your granddaughters. I know that's right. Generational wealth. Look, doing it for the future. But man, like I had one brother, he kept posting about that Dogecoin, telling everybody, "Yeah, get in it, get in it." And I'm telling them, like, bruh, that's not the way you want to go. It has nothing. It's nothing. Well, he did not listen. And like 2-3 months after Dogecoin fell, he's all up in my inbox talking about, can he borrow some money? Oh, I bet you do need to borrow some money. Mm-hmm. But you ain't want to listen. You was going to become a millionaire off of the Dogecoin, right? Okay.
Mm.
And you know, if you got in the Doge at it, see, it's about strategy. If you got in low and you see that everybody getting in, don't get greedy. You see it, you got a little increase in your money, get out.
Everybody start dog piling on that joint. It's time to leave.
Yes. If you already doubled your money, tripled your money, whatever, get out. You gonna stay until it ride down to nothing and lost it. Man, you don't listen. You have
You know
not.
what? Playing the stock market for some people is like gambling. You know that gambling addiction. They just can't stop. Even when they win, they gotta keep going, keep going, keep going. They just keep going till they ain't got nothing to spend. You know, the real hard gambling addicts. Is you can get addicted to anything. And some of these people just addicted to the thrill, and they think the next time it changes, it's gonna be changed for the better.
And then what did you use? What did you flip? Once you got in, got you some money, did you flip it again into something else, or you went and floss for the neighborhood? You went and floss for the neighborhood to the people who don't even like you. They still not gonna like you, and all they thinking about is robbing you. But you went back to floss to them because you have insecurity problems on top of your greed.
One of my classmates got killed like that. Every time you saw him, he used to flash big wads of money. Somebody came and tried to rob him and shot him. And he was a good dude, but you can't do that.
Pathetic.
Because it's look, people that ain't got nothing to lose don't care about you losing what you got.
That's true.
And sometimes they will actively act to take what you got from you, even if they don't get it. They just don't want to see you have it because they ain't got it. That's the mentality of some people out here in this world, and it's sad.
Brother Gary, you want to click on the link to come and tell us about the squatters? What are the squatters laws where you live at? Because you know some states don't have squatters, don't have a squatters law. Like they're not even allowed to be squatters. I know Pennsylvania's that way.
I'm gonna have to drop off of here because I gotta get everything situated before 8:30 because that's when I go live.
Okay.
Uda, unmute yourself. Talk to me, Uda. Billy D, where you at?
Yeah, what's good?
You coming over for this?
Yeah, where you going on your shit right now?
No, 8:30.
Oh, 8:30? Yeah.
Yeah, I already got it set up, but yeah, I gotta do some stuff before then.
All right, cool. Yeah. I'm gonna come over there. Tell all the people you already know. Go to CCT.
You can live stream it over here too. And then,
all right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna come over there, come vibe over there. You know, and share it back. But yeah, I'm gonna come over there, come vibe too.
All right.
CCCTV.
You
already said it for 8:30?
Huh?
You said it's for 8:30?
8:30. Yeah, Chuck in Hawaii, so we have to kind of like meet in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bring your snacks because you know.
Going down.
Walk out, you might miss something.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, dang, I gotta go to the store and get this real quick. I'll be right back. I gave everybody pre-warning. Go get your snacks. Go call your mans in them and get what you need to get now. Stop off at the corner store and talk to Abdul. You know, whatever you need to do.
Facts. Exactly.
These are always good. Like you learn stuff you ain't never heard before. I heard about Pickle Man from Chuck Morgan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Brother Gary, put some snakes out there. Release some snakes in that house. They'll leave.
But yeah, I'll be back up then. I gotta do some running around. So
Yeah, go
yeah.
ahead and handle your business, Queen.
All right, but I'll holler at y'all in a couple of hours.
Yeah, I'm with
All
it.
right, sis.
All right, bye.
Everybody make sure y'all go to CCCTV. It's going live at 8:30. She said like 8:30, so yeah. 8:15 or 30. Whatever.
He said he don't have none of them Jew lawyers.
Mm.
I don't think that they want that on their conscience. You know, the Jews don't play about certain things. They keep a balance between their evil and their good. They may not want to touch it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Tenants have not paid rent since April 2021. Yeah, just go over there and release you some snakes or go down to the voodoo lady house. I'm sure you can find one and let them do a little quick spell to get them out the house. That's all you got to do. Honey, look, you a god. You supposed to use your god magic. Exercise your God. He gave you the ability. He gave you the power. Use it. People talking about that stuff don't work on me. That's all right. I believe it work on you. That's all. That's all that matters. As long as I believe.
Right.
Put a dead pigeon under their car every morning. Mess with their mind, honey. Put stuff on their windshield. Put stuff in the window. They open up the window or the door and shit be sitting right there on the front step. You can mess with people. Mess with them mentally. They'll get up out of their house. Shoot. Take a dog by there and piss in the front. Cats and dogs and stuff piss on the front door, and all they smell is piss, piss, piss. Honey, they'll move out of there. Right. Use psychological warfare. Just like if somebody's stalking you, you stalk them back. You show up at their job. You show up at their mama house. Oh, you want to stalk me? I'm going to stalk you. You got to act just as crazy as other people act. They will have you arrested. How they gonna know, Gary? They not gonna see you out there in the middle of the night putting a dead pigeon under their car. Get one of them crackheads. Pay one of them crackheads to put it under the car. That's all you gotta do. Shoot. You ain't got no crazy cousins that'll do it. Give them $20. They put it under the car. The pot going to show the kettle it's black as hell. Okay. Explain that a little deeper, Rasta. Get deep into it. Give me one of them beautiful philosophical things that I ain't comprehending all the way. I want to laugh all the way. Nobody else is saying anything? Won't you, Gary and Rasta, won't y'all hit the link and join the conversation? So I'm not talking to myself. CC done left me. The one projecting is the one who will be caught like pointing the finger, 3 fingers point back. Right. Are you talking about Polight? What are you talking about specifically? You talking about these squatters?